Ah! Ah, good evening, everyone. It is I, your most favorite streamer, Alyssciel. Hello. Hi. It is I. So, yeah. Um, it's Canto 9, Part 4. I knew it. Canto 9 has supposed to be, supposed to has like um 4 parts, it needs to stick to the theme of number 4. But yes, hello Lemon, hello Eucharist, hello Hardtail Enjoyer, hello Taku, and hello Master Thruster. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a fun day today. I was mostly um trying to keep things easy for today, because I really haven't been feeling well lately. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Yeah. So that's just how it is. Slay the Spire soon. Slay the Spire 2. Okay. I'm probably gonna buy Slay the Spire 2 next month, maybe. Honestly, I really hope that it's gonna get like a sale or something because I've been waiting for it for a while. Prepping in food slowly. And smells of garlic. Yummers. Like what kind of food are you even going for? But yeah. I'm glad that you guys are having a good time. Had questions for D&D? Yeah. I'll get into it. Sorry, I wasn't, yeah. I was actually like resting up and stuff like that. Yeah, I was resting. I'll check all of it soon. Okay. Sorry about that. Like yeah, I've just been resting actually. Yeah, she's playing an elf. Prepare for racism. Oh god, she's playing an elf. Oh, they are discriminated. Okay, so um, most people in the world immediately assume that an elf being around is like a slave, something like that. Yeah, that's just how it is. But yeah, let's switch to the game. So this is the team that I'm gonna go for. Uh, so technically it's it's just the what you call it, like the House of Spiders. It's just the House of Spiders alongside I don't know, like syndicate members, I guess. Yeah, like just syndicate members. I don't care about team synergy and shit like that, but it's the House of Spiders. Wonder what Jemmy will play. Yeah. You guys will see. Don't worry about it. Where's Lil Sancho? There. Look. 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 Look at. Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the stream. So today we're gonna go with the twining threads. And the thing is, this one is actually what they call this. It doesn't have a voice. So I'm gonna have to read. When's our session 0? Let me have to check that. Probably on a Saturday. How's the M9 Lapland altar? Very nice. I would say it is quite nice. The funeral was held for Martin and the LCE researchers today. I thought I'd seen more than my fair share of deaths throughout my journey with the sinners. But never before had I witnessed this many people gather in one place to mourn the deceased together. The unfamiliarity made me feel a bit out of place. Am I doing this right? Most of the sinners seem to be feeling that similar sense of being out of their element as well. How many resources do you have to use? Not really much, because like I didn't really care. I just needed Lapland to be like in her, yeah, in her highest, highest level and everything. I didn't really care. I don't really care about resources. I can always just get more resources if I needed to. Those who care about resources are the peoples that are worried about them. I don't really. I don't. I knew there was supposed to be something witty there, but yeah, I don't care. Some of them were asking Merceau, apparently the most knowledgeable of them all, when it came to funeral process and etiquette. All manner of questions for pointers. Expressing respect is the primary purpose. Hand placement and gesture are unimportant if that objective can be accomplished. Hey, where do I put this? Beneath the third pillar to the right. Can't any of you quit chattering for 1 second? Have you all forgotten the instruction to carry yourselves with solemn propriety that befits the occasion? Yeah, I don't care. Money! Money! Cut me some slack. I haven't been to funerals all that much. I mean, I did tell you to read the manual. I even underlined all the important parts for you. Sorry, Ishi. The wall of text was just too much for me. My focus started fizzling out from page 30 onwards. Oh my god, she's a Limbus player. She's a Limbus player, she can't read. Hadn't every sinner here attended a funeral before? Back when we set foot in that grim manor in T-Corp? Ah, thou speakest of the funeral held in young Heathcliff's manor, dost thou not? The one bereft of the dead. Bereft of the dead? I mean, someone had to have died. Because there wouldn't have been a property dispute big enough to involve the OP Association's notarization otherwise. We've said this time and again, but it was just an intentional anonymity to prevent family strife. Intentional anonymity, is it? If the situation was indeed as thou sayest, then there was no helping it, forsooth. It's a pity that the dead wasn't named at their own funeral. The name of the deceased was... It was Catherine's funeral. She was very dear to Heathcliff. I've thoroughly reviewed the past 5 years' worth of local newspapers pertaining to the matter, yet no such name relevant to the case was identified, Manager. It's fine, Clockhead. At least you remembered. That's good enough, ain't it? Had to be the Golden Bow's influence. Somewhere along the way, everyone's memories of the event at Wuthering Heights had become warped. The sinners seemed to think that the Golden Bow had always been there in that manner, and that Nellie was coaxed into stealing it by Herman. Linton in their minds was now a grieving brother who had been conducting research for his dead sister's sake. Nobody questioned it. Not Don Quixote, not Faust. Every single sinner believed the twisted version of the memory as if it was a proven fact. Heathcliff and I gave up trying to correct them. Instead, we just check in on each other's memories every now and then. Because if there was something that he and I realized, it was that anything tied to Catherine had already been painted over, every detail gilded and glossed over with the glow of the bow. Okay, thank you. Hopefully your internet gets better. Damn, I only have 2 viewers. The point is, how should I put this? The circumstances of that funeral didn't exactly leave us much room to properly express our condolences back then. Between Heathcliff running on a rampage and that Hindley guy bent on interfering with the execution of the will. I assumed that sort of impediment was pretty common stuff for funerals, but apparently not, huh? No, well, I think it's actually rare to see a place that follows proper funeral procedures. I've traveled around quite a bit myself, but I can't confidently say that I've ever been to a legitimate funeral. The one at Wuthering Heights was one of the more proper funerals, if only for pretending to have a process. At least they prepared a coffin and even had a formal reading of the will. It seems funerals are far from being an everyday custom in the city. Funerals are considered a rather extravagant practice here as well. Corporations are not eager to grant time off just because an irrelevant someone has died, and the price of real estate seldom makes it viable to buy land and erect memorial houses on it. Then, what other options do people usually have? We used to just leave them where they died. After one night's sleep, the bodies were gone, just like that. Yeah, it's the sweepers. They just sweep the bodies. Right? Man, can you believe it? Just leave them there and then they're gone. They get turned into liquid flesh. Better than paying loads of money to bury him somewhere just to have that stir up a load of daft rumors, eh? Rumors? You know, rumors about there being valuables buried with the bodies, or an arm being some fancy prosthesis. All that rot. It's so funny, by the way, that when it's Heathcliff, the spelling of the, you know, the thing, it actually becomes Queen's English. Like, look at that, it's rumors. Rumors, like a British. Better to let the dead go in peace than to bury them in a grave just for some sods to later desecrate it. In Hongyuan, people tend to set up graves if they have enough room to spare. Of course, there wasn't a guarantee that they wouldn't lose the burial room by the next restructuring day. Owen Ives scoffed and hung his head. Odious foolishness, all of it. Comforting the soul of the departed, another mendacity. All those funds so carelessly squandered, all for the purpose of furnishing the living with a fragile excuse to cling on. Are those words from his heart or just something said to convince himself? Yeah, giant cope, my guy. He's coping so hard. Whichever was the truth, I couldn't see the look on his face with his head tucked so low. The funeral didn't last long. It was just a brief moment of silence followed by a quick goodbyes that were shorter still. The ceremony came to a close once Alyssa, who was still in recovery, came to pay her final respects. The flames devoured the coffins of Martin and the other researchers, announcing the end of their existence with the crackle of firewood. So, I suppose you'll be leaving now? Oh. We're staying until Gregor's stable enough to travel. Antithesis will remain here until Gregor's condition settles. Gregor came to his senses again a few days after his unforeseen metamorphosis in the battle against the Thumbner's father. Metamorphosis, like his book! Guys, title drop. He was given a checkup, and Hohenheim said there is no cause for concern. Physically, that is, the psychological assessment turned up disastrous, to say the least. Gregor was declared unfit for combat deployment for the time being. So you won't be leaving just yet. Good to know. Then I assume you'll be okay with us borrowing Sinclair for a while. Yo, what the fuck, man? What are you gonna do to Sinclair? Jesus Christ, man. It better not be something fanfic worthy. Me? Yes, you. The LCE wants to look into the sign you manifested, Sinclair. The higher-ups didn't waste a second greenlighting the project, which means that I'm telling you is more a notice of investigation than a request for permission. Oh, what investigation? What are you? It's just rather a mere instance of human experimentation. Calm yourself. Human experimentation? You really have to put it like that, boss? Not to worry, Sinclair. A swipe or two on your skin and maybe some talk therapy. That's all there is to it. Of course, if you had your consent, the avenues of research could be vastly... No, I'm not giving you my consent. For your reference, the other departments have also submitted some quite enthusiastic requests for the research and observational purposes. Oh, you have no idea. We had to get boss to fend off the LCA's Mirror World Observatorium department and their hissy fits. They wanted to be the first ones to get their hands on you and to spearhead the research, you see. And had we allowed them, they'd have kept you for a good few months before letting you go. So at least you could do, the least you could do is to thank us and be a good boy and cooperate. Well, it's like, did Alyssa just call him a good boy? So the least you can do is to thank us, is to be a good boy and cooperate. Yeah. Ah, just in time. Our researchers are here. Alyssa waved at the researchers who were filing out of the funeral hall after paying their respects. It wasn't long before Sinclair found himself surrounded on all sides. Oh my god! Sinclair is surrounded on all sides, guys. Wait, I'm perfectly capable of walking there on my own, so just don't run any painful tests on me. Of course. Stay strong, Sinclair. All I could do was to offer an unspoken encouragement to Sinclair, who sounded ready to collapse into a full-blown panic any moment. What about you? Not going with them? Oh, it's back to the long-term recovery ward for me. Well, to be fair, she got stabbed by like a spiral dagger. So, understandable. Also, she probably got traumatized, right? I always thought scientific research was the one thing that flamed my passion, but with the recent events having introduced me to the merits of paid sick leave, I realized that time off beats research projects in my book, marginally. Enjoy it what lasts. I highly suspect that every request for PTO submitted by our department will be rejected for the rest of the year. She exploded during Spider Fire. Oh yeah, right, that too. I remember now. She exploded as well. Well, it's true your average corporation doesn't give more than a week off a year. As soon as Alyssa trudged off with her dragging steps, the researcher seized Sinclair and carried him away. Alright, we should get going too. Oh, do you all have somewhere else to be? Well, I thought I'd go visit Gregor. I'm worried about him. Oh my god, what a lad. That's something I said I'd help with. Gotta be there for it. I'm going with Sinclair to get some rest. Also to keep an eye on the researchers and stop them if they try anything fishy with the experiments. Let me know later if you need anything, Dante. The sinners fanned out in different directions. They seem to have their own errands to run during our stay at the LCE. Everyone's busy with their own thing. The only ones keeping me company now were Ryoshu, who had been filling the air around thick with cigarette smoke, and Don Quixote, who was sniffing and asking around at every corner for Vespa in a valiant quest for the new collar fixer's whereabouts. Faust was still here too, staring blankly into the air. She's activating her autism. Is she accessing the gestal shaft? You seem to have some time to spare, manager. Sniffing. As I stood there wondering what I should do next to pass the time, Hohenheim, who had apparently finished tackling and signing the stack of papers, walked over to me. This makes things rather convenient. There is something I had intended to discuss with you and Sinner Ryoshu, a matter that requires your assistance. What kind of assistance? WKOA. SCH. Wait a minute, did Ryoshu just step in as my interpreter? Not that I don't appreciate her gesture, especially since she'd usually snap at me and tell me to find someone else to interpret whenever the issue came up. But I can't help but doubt whether her choice method of interpretation actually accomplishes anything. There is, I must admit, a certain novelty in witnessing the reconstitution of that which requires interpretation into yet another linguistic form equally demanding of it. It would seem we are in need of more manpower. Scratching his head, Hohenheim looked around for a moment before coming to a sudden pause as though an idea had crossed his mind. At the end of his gaze was a certain someone who was busy badgering LCCA employees with her relentless questioning. Who else, pray, might know where he is if thou knowest not? Now listen closely. The one I seek is a bearer of a hair fashioned like the likeness of a bowl. Hello, Yuri. Welcome. You there? Why don't you join us too? Eh? Dost thou speak of me? The LCCA personnel who were cornered by Don Quixote and her rather forceful interrogation regarding Vespa's whereabouts took the opportunity and fled the scene without so much as a backward glance to the moment of their captor turned her head to answer Hohenheim. Indeed, there is a task that requires your assistance. But I have yet more words to trade with the most noble yellow harpoon. You seek to emulate the virtue of chivalry. Does that entail turning down the earnest plea of those in need? For the sake of clarity and distinction, it would be prudent to assign you to a different identifier from that of my assistant. You are to be number 2, that is, assistant number 2. I have not yet concluded mine exchange with the yellow harpoon, but no true knight would abandon those who call for aid. Pray, speak thy quest. How may I be of service to thee? Delegating the interpretation of the manager's speech to sinner number 4 has proven to be counterproductive. As such, your task will be to report to me what the manager says. Oh, that is indeed a simple task. However, this WKO way eluded mine understanding as well. Pity allow me but a little time to uncover its mystery. Are they the manager's words, not Sinner Ryoshi's? They were asking you what kind of assistance you need. The request for interpretation was not directed to you, but I cannot deny that your meddling, in the present circumstance, is a welcome one. It was simply that the irrationality and inefficiency of your suboptimal staffing choice and workflow have become sufficiently unbearable. Faust hopes this was not some guileful scheme devised to elicit Faust's cooperation. In any case, manager, this request of mine concerns an investigation into the backdoors located in the House of Spiders. I deem that the two of you should be the ones familiar with the structure and layout of the house. After all, you were the ones monitoring the entirety of the 5-pronged assault operation, and sinner number 4's familiarity does not bear repeating. We go to the House of Spiders right away? HOSRA? Yeah, but it's still enough. I think Ryosho is just trolling. Ryosho's just trolling when I'm at this point. Look at her, she's like smiling. My god. Perhaps you could help Faust. Sure. Although not word for word, Faust relayed my intention to Hohenheim, who responded by shaking his head. Not immediately, no. There's one more member you should bring along. One more member? Seeing me tilting my head, Hohenheim pushed up his glasses. The apprentice who was captured alive in a house of spiders. Kira, she has regained consciousness. Kira! Yeah. Rage bait. He's really rage baiting him. The funny. The place Hohenheim led us to, what? The place Hohenheim led us to looked less like a recovery ward and more like an interrogation chamber. Though every single medical equipment installed around seemed to be state-of-the-art. This place looks well equipped. Probably a direct order from upper management. Although technologies to restore lost body parts are common enough in the city, a facility of this kind is required to preserve the original form of her lower body in the reconstruction process while keeping the cost reasonable. Reasonable, huh? I want to ask how expensive the other options are if this counts as reasonable. A windowless room thick with the sharp scent of medicine and chemicals. Hiro was sitting on the bed at the center of the room, kicking her feet as she regarded us. Yo, she got abs, guys. What the heck? Yeah, and you can actually see she doesn't really have a lot of augmentation tattoos from the middle. Yeah, she's really not part of it, unfortunately. For someone recovering from bisection, she didn't look much different from how she'd appear when I'd seen her through the sinner's shared vision. He was captured alive for the extraction of information, yes. How far along is the progress of the extraction? It hasn't yet begun, actually. We are waiting until the lines of information that warrant questioning can be isolated. Yeah, it doesn't... Yeah, these are just middle-style augmentation tattoos, right? So far, all the available personnel have been fully engaged in analyzing the documents and items discovered in the House of Spiders. And what are you even doing here? There is work to be done contingent upon information obtainable only from a recent inhabitant of the House of Spiders. And following a discussion upon with the upper management, I have decided to put you to use as the company had originally intended. No TV, no comic books, just a super prickly glare and a cold shoulder whenever I ask for something to pass the time. And now you suddenly need my help, huh? Give me one reason I should cooperate. Oena didn't so much as twitch an eyebrow at Kira's biting tone. He merely gave her a nod with a steely, imperturbable expression. I didn't ask for your help. Put you to use, I believe, is what I said. What? Your survival is not incidental. It is the result of a calculation. The company anticipates a potential profit by keeping you alive. Expected gain as the term goes. Without such a forecast on the company's part, you would have already been disposed of. The upper management consists of people who would be disinclined to tolerate the daily maintenance and depreciation costs of this room, even at half their current numbers. Which brings us to our next point. Should you insist on maintaining this uncooperative attitude, the company may decide to convene a meeting to reassess your worth, or shall we say lack thereof, in its projected income statement. Well, suffice to say that such a reassessment would skew heavily against your favor. The outcome would be a recommendation for immediate disposal. Damn. Bro, why are you like talking like that? She's not gonna be able to like understand half of it. She's kinda, yeah. Oena always had a way with words that could prickle and sting. But with Kira, it almost felt as if he traded the usual thorn off for the sharper knife, intended on twisting it right where it hurt. I'm dead meat as soon as my usefulness runs out anyway. It's not like you're gonna let me live, not after I killed a bazillion of your guys. So you anticipated some form of a corporate-level retaliatory response against your person. That is indeed a curious line of reasoning. Oh, round and round we go, holding on through pain, driven by our egos, feelings untold. Well, I must tell you that unlike your typical backstreet syndicate, such as the middle corporate entities of the city tend to avoid choices that may incur losses. The value of the information that could be extracted from an apprentice of the middle, and the combat prowess honed under the tutelage of a great brother of the middle. These two considerations are likely what increase your value in the eyes of the company. Ah! You'll get zero self-respect, huh? You should consider yourself fortunate. Huh? The heck are you on about? Other companies would not solicit your cooperation by means of a verbal exchange. Your interrogator would simply open your cranium, harvest your brain, and extract any and all necessary information without going through intermediary steps such as this. Yeah, that would have been, yeah. Nah, I don't like getting crushed by, yeah. I'm the one that does crushing. Oh, you got Muinar? At least you got some good operators actually. I spent like all of my resources just to get Lapland. No, no. See, the thing is, Heathcliff is actually not African American. Heathcliff is actually a gypsy. That's like two different things. Even without resorting to such methods, the range of available means to compel the disclosure of information is practically limitless. Truth serums, hypnotic suggestions, electrical shocks and stimulations, and of course, procedures utilizing distortions and abnormalities. That being said, the LC department prefers to distance itself from such uncivilized approaches that may entail complications and after effects. I do hope that we share a similar predilection. You're so freaking annoying, you know that, mister? The feeling is entirely mutual. Leaving the biting chill of his threats to sink in, Hohenheim turned towards the exit. Give her some push and bring her along. I don't quite seem to be myself today. No, disregard that. That too was rather foolish thing to say. I will defer this matter to you, manager. Work of this sort likely falls more within your capabilities than my own. And with that, Hohenheim stepped out of the room, leaving me to deal with Kira. His reaction was understandable. The LCE had just finished laying its dead researchers to rest. Kira was probably the last person anyone would want to face right now, much less speak to. What should I even say to persuade her? I was still caught in thought when someone, quite unexpectedly, made her way to Kira. Yoshihide? You. Heard you got stabbed in the back by Matthias. That's not true. Papa wasn't landing a fatal blow unless he cut through me too. That's why he did exactly that, to aim for the enemy's head. Besides, he made the right choice. A little sacrifice ain't a thing in the family. Family. Coming from him, a middle mutt thrown out of his kernel. Doesn't it sound ridiculous even to you? That's... thrown out? That fucker Matthias was a GB only by technicality. He fucked up badly, was still family by name, but underneath it everyone hoped he'd disappear quietly on his own. He was that family member nobody wanted around. Also, he's basically like that uncle that you see in the fucking in the family reunion that always spouts the most racist shit to ever graze the... Yeah? Is that it? Same treatment for me, being his brat. Not surprising, it's the ST for the bowl cut too. Same taste. Oh, young Ryoshu, could it be that thou also harbor a passionate zeal for I quickly clapped a hand over Don Quixote's mouth as she smoothly chimed into the conversation. What exactly is your point? The point is you're taking too long. If you can't decide whether you want to live or die, I can shorten into hesitation. TQ, while I'll SYNC right this instant. What does that mean? Operate quietly, or I'll snap your neck completely right this instant. SYNC isn't such a bad way to go if you're keen on taking that loyalty act straight to the grave. This is so crappy. Whatever, I get it, okay? I'll talk if that's what you want so bad. That actually worked? Fixers who go out in the blaze of glory aren't actually the strong ones. It's the ones who survive, the ones who live to see another day and keep getting stronger. Anyway, Yoshihide, what's up with you talking in a weird-ass abbreviations? Like SYNC? That's so random, who even says that? Ryoshu didn't bother to reply and simply chewed on the mouth on the end of her cigarette. Rabies. But is this really the right call? To her, we're probably people she needs to settle the score with. As if. Half her tattoos are gone, clock. They even confiscated her book. You think the middle sorry excuse for loyalty means so much for this stray that she'd bite us? Besides... No, better hear it from her instead. Hey, tell me why Matthias kicked the bucket. That's cause... Well, cause Papa was weaker than y'all. Huh. Yeah, you're the jerk's brat, alright. Kira pushed herself up from the bed with a sour face, but at least she didn't argue back. Then we called Hohenheim, who'd been waiting outside, back in. Ashram, the prisoner, was successfully persuaded. Come, you will find your weapon on the table. You may use it in the event of an emergency. What the hell? Can't even unsheath it. You won't be able to use it without authorization. The code has been slightly adjusted. Now then, let's head to the House of Spiders at once. The back door is up and waiting for us. We made our way to the House of Spiders with Kira trailing behind us, looking like she was smelling something particularly fishy on us. Fishy? Like Ishmael? Yeah, they took away her middle tattoos. See? By the way, look at this. Look at this, by the way. So, there are 2 story nodes here. And it only took me like about less than 40 minutes to get through both of them. Isn't that nice? Okay, I'm gonna get yeah, can I get a support? Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. So what if you could see a different side of me? This animal I have become. Okay, wait. Let's clear the selection for now. We're gonna go with the
내 작품.
I have some ring.
격에 맞는 조언도 함께 준비하도록.
And then we got representation to the thumb and the index. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
기쁘게 나서.
Yeah. It's just the House of Spiders, technically. Oh wait, I should probably okay. Wait. I should probably do this instead.
내
Somebody
작품.
get me
또 보고
through
싶었는데.
this nightmare.
기쁘게 나서지요.
오케이.
Yeah, I'll just do this.
맞군.
Yeah, the House of Spiders, boy.
내 차례냐?
선원
Get the
집단.
House of Spiders.
이번
Do you not
작품에
have
대한
ring sang?
논의할
I
시간이다.
do have ring sang. It's just that it's funny to just use the. It's just funny to use the House of Spiders to go back to the House of Spiders. See, I don't really care much about the team synergy and shit like that because I'm doing it for themes and such. You know what I mean? Only a few days had passed since our last visit, but the place looked markedly different from what we remembered. The sight of the hollow, frigid atmosphere and the endless stretch of the corridors hadn't changed. But Callisto's so-called artworks were now covered in white sheets, and unfamiliar devices affixed all around the back doors. Pity, might those people thither be? Is this spoiler? Technically, yeah. It's supposed to happen after the latest Canto. Really? Looks like some shady bastards moved in already. Our guarded reaction prompted Hohenheim to step forward and gesture to one of the oddly dressed figures. It seems introductions are in order for both sides. This is team leader Alan from Wayfarer Company, who will be working with us on the investigation of the house's back doors. Wayfarer Company? A corporate entity partnered with Limbus Company, responsible for providing portal technology. It has on prior occasion been referred to as the new or aspirant W Corp, though the name is an unofficial one. Our employees have also taken the calling you the new L Corp, something we have in common, given that we're both chasing after the same horizon. Ah, I remember, that company vying to take W Corp's place, right? Same horizon. It's probably talking about getting recognized as a wing. After all, the old L Corp has already fallen, while W Corp, from what I've heard, is free falling at this point. And these are the manager and the seniors of the LCB department, our field operations unit, frequently deployed to deal with on-site matters firsthand. Oh, the cruise party. Oh my god, I kinda like that place, by the way, it's so funny. They have more personnel, but the rest are tied up with other duties elsewhere. Only a handful will be joining this investigation effort. I understand. Field operation units are almost always understaffed anyway. The support you provided is more than sufficient. Alan gave an... Oh my god, who the fuck is this guy? Is this guy from... Hey, it's Hopkins from Canto 1. Guys, it's Hopkins from Canto 1. What the fuck, man? Hopkins. Nana, it doesn't look like... you know what? A bit similar with Emma. Yeah, but, you know, it's fine. Alan gave an understanding nod. The man slipped off his bulky helmet before extending his hand in greeting. Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's Alan, leader of Doorbreach Team 4. Likewise. Before Faust could even relay my reciprocal greeting, words spilled out of Alan's mouth in a strangely uneven rhythm, as if my ticking didn't bother him at all. Like it was sticking to a script that he had rehearsed. Is that the one who ran away? Yeah, in Canto 1. I know, right? He looks like him. Kinda looks a bit older though. He's got that, yeah, he's got those wrinkles. Yeah, he kinda looks like it. I've heard great things about your manager Dante of Limbus Company and the bus team's performance. You capitalized on the suppression of distortions at T-Corp as leverage to push your products, and the profits were nothing short of staggering, I heard. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be distortion resolving specialists to the public, but what's that product part about? The manager says it was merely a matter of luck. I also look forward to working with you on this task. That's not what I said, Faust! That's not what I said. What the fuck? Oh, are you the interpreter? In that case, I'll be sure to consult the manager only when both of you are available. Sure. Faust didn't seem particularly pleased with the role Alan had pinned on her, but she nodded anyway. Quietly came to my side and answered my earlier questions while Alan carried on with Hoenam. He is referring to the Monolith sales project. The credit was attributed to the LCB at the express request of Mr. Hubert, T-Corp's executive director. Oh, so that's how the rumor spread, huh? We reviewed the agreements. Now I understand you'll be assisting in the verifying what lies beyond the back doors. I'd appreciate it if you could share any prior knowledge you have about where these back doors connect, as detailed as you can make them if you don't mind. Hohenheim fixed Kira with a pointed look. Though Kira responded by defiantly cocking her head in a show of irritation, she still gave up a sliver of the information she had. Honestly, I've got pretty much nothing about, if it's the Robo-Unk in his room. The Robo-Unk. Bro. Kira, I swear to God. I mean, I've seen Albina hit up a door and the other one over there when she was popping out to farm stuff, but... Farm? Oh, it is a gathering material. I see, what kind of material? Human guts and all that, should come back hauling piles of them. So they're probably connected to some backstreets area. Backstreets? Any more details? Can you stop prying? You're low-key pissing me off. What? That's literally all I've got, for real. For a moment, Alan leveled Kira with a stiff expression. Whoa! Bro, he just got punched by the guy. What the fuck? Oh my god, domestic violence in my freaking Korean game? I thought Kira was nimble enough to dodge a surprise attack easily, but this one seemed to have caught her completely off guard. She stood there blinking, eyes round in rude surprise. Actually, it wasn't that he caught her off guard. It was the motion of the punch itself that somehow felt off. The fist being raised, the arm being extended, the blow making contact, the chain of actions were there. But it just didn't look normal. Did you just hit me? What the hell's wrong with... As Kira reeled from the unexpected strike, Don Quixote spoke up in a cold, sharp tone. Thou, what manner of discourtesy is this? Ah, with all that whining, I thought the brat could use a lesson to remind her of her place. I had no intention of damaging your company asset, of course. I simply assumed that the level of warning would not be inappropriate in this case. Amazing. Team Leader Alan. That sort of conduct may not be an issue in your organization, but it is here. Should it happen again, do understand that we may choose to terminate today's joint engagement without delay. My apologies. I'll keep that in mind going forward. Alan stood down without arguing back, but Kira looked far from satisfied with how Hohenheim handled the situation. You get so suck me in the face and walk off scot-free? It's freaking annoying. Fortunately enough, her grumbling didn't escalate into her lashing out at Alan. Once just now, though, what was that? It exhibited a behavior that defied the standard laws of physics. Presumably a form of technology utilized by Wayfarer Company. So it basically just did a warp punch to her? Something like that? Just warp punched her? Let us resume the task at hand. Scenario should give Manager Alan whatever information you have. That door could lead to one of the ring-protected turfs. The other two on the left, I remember they were marked with an X painted with blood. But I, H, and I, where they actually lead, it's all blurry. Seems that all the information we can provide, will that suffice? We now know what the doors likely connect to a perceivable area. That's already a big improvement in terms of intel for Wayfarer Company's backdoor mapping progress. Bro used Ripple. Actually. Which means there's less chance of us encountering a space beyond human perception past those doors. Alright then, I'll proceed with connection verification. Which door shall we test first? We'll start with the one Scenario Shu mentioned. Ha! You don't trust me at all, huh? And why even bring me along? Ignoring Kira's jab, Alan began setting up various devices on the door, and soon an elegant white door opened before us. Shall we? Art thou joining us as well, young Hohenheim? Just this once. There are procedures for handing over field operations. Okay, let's see what's in there. Let's see what's in door number 1. What the? Is this some kind of wildlife exhibit? The moment we stepped in, the lights hit us all at once, drawing squints and frowns from the sinners. Thanks to my lack of physical eyes, I could make out a room filled with statues or perhaps taxidermied animals. It felt like a gallery of sorts, but it was so quiet that the air itself seemed to carry a strange, somber weight. After a moment, someone shattered the silence, but it wasn't Don Quixote, our usual suspect. Holy shit, that scale is just insane! That's the whale from 8th Association Great Lakes Special Issue. Kira, who seemed beaten down all along, exclaimed with a bit more energy in her voice. Man, seeing it in real life sure hits different. And the Indigo Elder solo one-shots those monsters with that harpoon of his, huh? She really is the power-scaling daughter. It's a Great Lake whale. Doesn't look like the ones we've encountered, though. Organisms of various sources can be identified here. Singularity modified, outskirts born. They look almost alive. They're not, right? No, they're not. Duh. Though Robo-Unk did say that the ring has the zoos where they put monsters on display alive. Man, this would have been way more fun if we could see the moving ones. Everything here's dead. Meh. Still looks crazy sick though. The vibe really hits. Even though she was trying to play it cool, Kira kept sneaking glances at the massive horn display off to the side, clearly surprised in a way she couldn't hide. That said, I felt a distinct shortage of hyperactivity, given the presence of a certain someone in our party. Don Quixote? The eye of a second kindred, of House Tepesh. What is it doing here? At the mention of the word kindred, I couldn't help but follow Don Quixote's gaze. Opposite the whale was another kind of exhibit. It contained items leaning on the more gruesome side of things, starting with a crimson eyeball that caught Don Quixote's attention, and body parts and like hands and bones that look as though they were a bit stripped from human body. Alright, look at that! It's an eye! Yeah, Tepesh as in the one in Dracula. Yeah. It's a gallery of the School of Fauvism. Probably a main studio at that, which comes with a maestro's atelier and an auction house. Alan, we will be making our exit shortly. Prepare to initiate lockdown sequence. Before Hohenheim could even finish his urgent transmission, numerous footsteps closed in from somewhere nearby. Running towards the sound of shoes clacking on the floor, we found strange figures wearing animal masks staring directly at us. That presence, it's kinda like Papa's. Ain't no way. That's not a raid boss we can clear at our level. Gotta get out of here. It's not that simple. Retreating is not a viable solution here. This door is connected to the House of Spiders. Escaping without installing a security system will invite pursuit. We must stall them until Alan is ready to initiate the lockdown sequence. As the tension thickened, one of the strangers, who wore a peculiar bone mask, stepped forward. The voice that spoke to us carried equal part curiosity and delight. You came through the door. Then the house's fall wasn't just a baseless rumor. A stray little spiderling fallen from her parents' web. How many years has it been? You. Who are you? Ah, right. It makes sense that you would fail to recognize me. I used to wear a different mask back when I used to visit as your tutor, didn't I? A wolf, if memory serves right. Yes, that must have been when I was quite captivated by the sensation of tearing into the raw, still thrashing flesh of living prey, and the predator's ferocious yet cavernously resonant howling. Rings a bell. You're that maestro whose whole lesson was a 3-hour sermon praising the intensity of primary colors and the strength of living creatures. Benoit, was it? That is right. Emile Benoit. And they say you can't hatch a phoenix from a chicken's egg. Doesn't always apply, I see. Looks like that mind of yours is still sly as a raven, unlike your nurse fathers. Don't presume. I only remember you because the docility of hides and guts made for a passable AW. Okay, thank you, Thank you, logo. At first glance, it looked like Ryosho was casually taking a trip down memory lane with the maestro. But I had a feeling she was, in fact, dragging this out on purpose to buy us time. The lockdown sequence thing, how much longer till it's ready? Young Hohenheim, lockdown sequence! Don Quixote had been shooting the ring members an incensed glare sparked by the discovery of a kindred's eye, swiftly relayed my words to Hohenheim without even a hint of her earlier shenanigans. I'm afraid the progress and speed of the lockdown sequence lies in Alan's hands, not mine. It is by its nature a time-consuming work. We cannot expect haste. Perhaps that does make this a suitable juncture to try out Plan A. Plan A? Any suggestions that involve Don Quixote removing her shoes will not be dignified with a serious discussion. Instead, maybe what Hohenheim had in mind had nothing to do with Don Quixote's shoes, because he opened his mouth as though he was about to retort to Faust's categorical rejection. But the moment he followed Faust's eyes and saw that what she was looking at, he quietly shut his mouth and said nothing further. Latent potentiality is not something I dislike. As for this, however, this seems more like grasping at straws. At the end of their gaze was Ryoshu's blade, Arayashiki. Another will be added to the to-do list before okay. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I was going to try using it anyway. I've long wanted to see if a maestro's death is any different. Telling him that we were just leaving won't work, will it? No, it won't. Every individual present here would be quite the fascinating specimen to the artist of the ring. We are practically a windfall of inspiration and material that has so conveniently been delivered to them. Is it improbable that they will allow us to return unharmed? Faust is right. She and Hohenheim are geniuses, and Ryoshu is the wielder of Arayashiki. Don Quixote is a kindred of a higher generation, and I happen to house a golden bow in my head. I have no idea how much information the ring has on us. But even if they know nothing, they wouldn't let us go easily. Are you sure about this, Ryoshu? Doesn't matter if I'm SAT or not, Clock. Think of that woman as Lei Hang, and do as you did in HC's mansion. I'll take care of the rest. Right, that's probably our best shot. What Ryoshu meant was quite clear. Resonate with the golden bow, secure an advantage to fight on equal footing, then catch them off guard by slowing down the flow of time. A cut from the Arayashiki, even if it doesn't give us a real fighting chance, might at least stall the maestro long enough to give us the time to get away. This floor of the exhibit only houses submissions from students and docents. But if you look closely enough, there are some passable ones that show the promise of excellence. And above all, this is the gallery of the School of Fauvism. And mine, the gallery of Emile Benoit. Which is why I would have preferred to take you without an unnecessary fight if possible. A shame. Still, we're talking about a unique relic here. A masterless one at that. Acquiring the Arayashiki would make it worth the cost. If you want a taste. Confusion flickered across Ryoshu's face as she tried to unsheath her blade. What's the matter? How? The lock on the House of Spiders used to bind the Arayashiki no longer exists. So why? Why can't I draw the blade? Now that's unexpected. So the rumors of you mastering that relic, were they false? The maestro only gave a loose swing of her arm, but it was enough to make Ryoshu recoil. A shadow of surprise crossed her face. The wound looked like nothing more than a light gash, yet the maestro's contemplative gaze shifted between the blood on Ryoshu's arm and her own, as though the attack had been an experiment to prove a hypothesis. It wasn't hard to guess what she was thinking. notice, did you? Had my doubts from the moment I saw you today. Was the House of Spiders a success or a failure? Tell me, Yoshihide, what do you think a serpent's defining strength is? What are you on about now? Ask any student and they'll give the same predictable answers. The deadly venom, the sleek scales. Why, it's lamentably disappointing. The maestro advanced towards us with an assured certainty, then seized a beige thread dangling from the ceiling. No, calling it a mere thread would be wrong. It was something that resembled a thread, yet felt much more disturbing. I, for one, have a particular liking for the jaw and the spine. The flexibility of the spine linked like a chain, and the jaw bound not by bone but by ligaments that allow the animal to swallow its prey whole. Perhaps I should have said that I admire their structural refinement. The thrice-coiled ring on her ring finger gave off a cold glint, and the walls and the ceiling suddenly began to echo with a sickening squelch and crack of flesh and bones assembling. Oh, what the hell is that? Which brings me to ask, what better way to claim this delivery of promising material with a single bite than a work of art fashioned from a snake? The master plunged her arm into the long serpentine body of a monster. Her sheer presence radiated a pressure as oppressive as that of a nurse father's, only more primal and untempered. Consider it a privilege. This is the first time this piece has ever been exhibited unto an outsider. Hohenheim, is the lockdown sequence still not ready? 1 minute to go. Step aside. The attack from the eagle near Hohenheim has hastily brandished didn't even last a moment. The weapon was knocked from his hand. As I scrambled to equip the sinners with their identities, something abruptly stopped the beast-like appendage midway through its hurtling motion. And the one who intercepted the blow, ha! Shit! Was Kira, struggling to push back against the serpentine arm with her steel-sealed blades. Kira? Yeah, I already knew that Emil was a woman, you know? Did she suddenly have a change of heart that I wasn't aware of? Shit, it wasn't the plan at all. Obviously not. She could not have changed her mind that quickly. Because the look on her face couldn't be anything other than that of utter regret. The middle, For someone who doesn't even seem to be a proper member, you've gained quite the quantity of tattoos onto yourself. Aha, you must be the new kid Matthias took in. Why do you stand in my way? Fuck if I know. I'm already regretting it, alright? Damn it, you're definitely gonna ditch me here. Why did I even? Must be instinct taking over. Couldn't fully shake off that opponent's killing intent, so the body chose to clash head-on. So the behavioral facet of the psyche can be controlled with suitable training. Unexpected data, but useful to be sure. Yeah, shut it, mister! Quit yapping and let me use my blades! Authorized and ready. Lifting locks now. Kira's thermal weapons emerged from their sheaths with a metallic clang. She used the recoil of the motion and skid back and assume a defensive stance. Naturally, that broke Benoit's arm from the deadlock as well. The master lashed out again with the monstrous limb, but... Huh? It's a foul injustice to strike against an unprepared opponent in a duel. Behold, for I shall allow thee a glimpse of the badass form that only the most renowned of fixers have displayed through the ages. Seeing an opening, Don Quixote slammed into the arm with her full might, knocking it off its trajectory. Predictably, however, the sheer force of the maestro's attack instantly reduced her to a red sludge of flesh and bone, sending her remains crashing into the door. Ready to initiate lockdown sequence. I will seal the door immediately upon your exit. Everyone to the door! Pass, retrieve the organic remnants of Sinner number 3. 1 in the morning in my time zone. It's alright. Sorry. Yeah, we are in the same time zone, Yisang. Index father Yisang. I'm using the House of Spiders, so as Faust made her exit with what was once Don Quixote, the students of the ring surrounded Kira, barring her way out. A hollow chuckle slipped out of her lips. Called it for real. This is exactly why I didn't want to get involved. Taking Kira back with us would mean having a sizable force of the ring trail right behind through the door. Kira too seemed to have realized the risk that no one in their right mind would want to take. She lowered her head in defeat, as though she knew full well the fate that awaited her. I'm such a dumbass. What was I thinking, diving in like that? You don't just stand there, get over here now. Huh? But these guys are gonna come flooding in if I... You talk too much. Want to get cleaved in half again? You pin this on me later, you're gonna pay. Blocking the maestro's arm by a hair as it came down on her again, Kira hurled herself toward the door with every bit of strength she could muster. More than a few students rushed in through the doorway, chasing after the sinners who had gone in ahead, but lockdown sequence complete. All back door links have been cut. Fortunately, Alan managed to sever the connection between the two back doors before the master could cross over. Hello! Oh, bowl cut. Think you can still use your arms? I'm fine. So she says. Hero would be strong enough addition to fight for us, but the ring members that have managed to cross formed a rather sizable force. Fighting them off with just the sinners I have at my side would not be the best course of action. In that case, guys, I assume you're all available right now. As soon as I call out to the sinners, their voices come through Hohenheim's radio one after another. I guess so. Ready for your order, Executive Manager. I, Otis, am prepared to answer your call whenever and wherever. Hang on, I just need to finish this bite. Everyone, to me. Bro immediately just used Malkuth. Amazing. Malkuth! Hey, look, guys! I'm using the ring. I'm using the House of Spiders. Yeah, there's no synergy for this one, but it doesn't matter. I don't really care, if I'm gonna be honest with you. We're just gonna have to, yeah. It's so funny, look at that. Wow guys, there's Kira and Kira Ishmael. Yeah. Oh my god, winning! Hello! Hello, Apple. How are you? Yeah, there's also Kira. It's just that Kira Mael is also there. You know, I really think that they should buff Kira Ishmael. If I'm gonna be honest with you, Kira Ishmael needs a buff. She's very mediocre, unless they're actually planning to like buff her to hell once Matthias once Matthias comes out, like Matthias Otis. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But if you think about it, Ring Faust is actually pretty strong on her own, even without You know, even without Ring Hongli. Even Renclair without her master, and even Dawn actually. Even Index Dawn is strong on her own. Oh my god! Did you just see that? Did you just see her? Did you just see Faust strip in front of Kira? It's just so funny to see. Damn! Damn, why you stripping in front of her, man? Yeah. It's just pretty mediocre. That's why. I probably should try the middle before Otis, you know, on the mirror dungeon, and then try the middle again once Otis drops. See, I think the reason why is because fucking Matthias did not really teach her anything. Basically, Matthias just showed her a lot of hype moments and aura, and that's about it. She just kept on showing the hype moments and aura to Kira, and because of that, that's the only training that she gets. Yeah, she just learned it from anime. It's only the first door, and the impediments are already beyond expected levels. I swear, I thought that was it for me back there. Events of this nature won't be frequent. We were merely beset by ill luck. If you just listened to me and picked another door, we wouldn't have gotten cooked like that in the first place. Like, why even drag me into this if you weren't gonna trust me, weirdos? Would have opened them all at the end of the day, SD. SD, what's that? Same difference. Again, why shorten it like that? Just say duh or something. Just spell it out and say it was anticipated. That's WA. Huh? Good work, everyone. Wayfarer does have a team dedicated to this sort of task. But the mortality rate is quite high. Honestly, I was bracing myself for the worst. The odds of completing the first door of an expedition without any casualties are under 15%. This, by all measures, counts as a flawless expedition. Tapping away at his device, Alan addressed us with an amicable smile. He seemed totally different from the same man who had manhandled Kira with a fist to her face. Those Faves won't be able to cross over anymore with the door completely locked down, right? That cannot be asserted with certainty. Are you saying more might come? The corridors and back doors have always been the ring's turf clock. And those Favist beasts have endured as a long-standing faction within the ring. If they've got that much history, they must know many back doors, both the origin and destination points. Alan clarified what Ryoshi was hinting at. Yes, compared to them, we lack sufficient knowledge of alternate routes, which makes it difficult to prevent infiltration. No need to concern yourselves over much. Even if that were the case, it is unlikely that they would move on the House of Spiders so soon. Eh? They could always rush for a surprise attack though. Even the Favist Maestro seemed to lack clear intel on the event that took place at the House of Spiders. If so, it follows that they will need time to assess and deliberate about the situation. The situation? The logical scope of their concerns will be identifying an organization that has secured the House of Spiders, the possibility of additional traps beyond the back doors, and the like. Once the backdoor-related procedures tied to the House of Spiders are completed, the resulting security framework should be able to preempt and block any infiltration attempts. Operation is more important than I thought. That aside, why couldn't I draw the blade? Is it the new scabbard's fault? Ryoshu lifted the sheathed sword with an irritated frown, and that's when I felt a faint vibration. The blade was stretching ever so slightly. That quivering most faint was seen by all, indeed. Damn, I saw it too. Is it possessed or something? Looks like I wasn't the only one who saw the sword twitching, as though it wasn't pleased at all with how Ryoshu was talking about the scabbard. Ryoshu's gaze lingered on the sword before slowly shifting towards the back doors. I tell you, I'm not watching the stream because I want to experience the intervallo for myself. Yeah, no worries. I mean, that's the reason why I waited for one day so that, you know, most people could actually experience it. But it seems that you guys are not doing that yet, so, you know, it is what it is. Could it be that seeing the scabbard brought back some memory of Araya? Ryoshu, is it an SS? A demon edge? An enchanted blade? Which is it? It's probably neither of those, nor is it a sentient sword. This presents a fine opportunity to conduct another examination of the sword. Excuse us for a moment, Team Leader Alan. Please feel free to go ahead. The attack just now damaged some devices, so we're going to have to perform some maintenance before continuing. There's plenty of other work for me to do while you're away, too. Are we to return to the headquarters research facility, then? No, that won't be necessary. This is a facility here that should prove more than adequate. Twinning threads, last stage or mirror dungeon. Go for the mirror dungeon. Always bet on the mirror dungeon.
비록 지금 제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도
When I'm brought us to what looked like a research lab, lined with cables, rows of screens, and diagrams full of complex symbols and shapes. I didn't know there was a place like this in the House of Spiders. This is a forward base constructed by Limbus Company following Operation Spiderfire. It did not exist prior to the house's fall. It is intended for additional backdoor investigation and research into irregular phenomena observed during the operation. Irregular phenomena? An example. Research subjects such as a spatial analysis of the correlation between the emergence of Sinner number 11's sign and the manifestation of possible future. Oh. Looking around, I spotted Sinclair and a group of researchers surrounding him, the same people who had dragged him off earlier. Also, Rufo is hot. Of course, Rufo is hot. They were accompanied by a gaggle of sinners who had tagged along to either watch the show or kill some time while they took a breather after work. Hohenheim, how long will the examination take? With Sinclair's biometric assessment concluded, the analyzer device should be available for the relic now. Which means that it should be finished in an hour for now at the latest. The scabbard rattled again at the mention of an hour. I don't know why or how, but the way it swayed almost felt like a child trembling. It's moving again. Come along, Ryoshu. I expect you to want to witness the procedure. Fine. Ryoshu and Ho and I headed up to the side. The examination was probably going to start immediately. Time to get into Sinclair then. Wait. I was making my way towards Sinclair, who was getting bombarded with questions, when an unexpected figure behind a pillar caught my eye. It was Vespa Crabro, with a big piece of paper covered in crooked handwriting taped on his back. Snack thief? Ah, manager. Karen snacks. Mr. String Bean ate up all of them. Sorry, but I think there's been some misunderstanding. Verg, kick his ass. Ah. Can you imagine just I love this. Not only is this a matter not worth pointing fingers over, but Karen also shares some of the responsibility for leaving them out on the table unattended. Still, I would prefer you exercise more care next time, or you'll put me in a tough spot. Understood. Karen, supple Sarky mode engaged. Not talking for half a day. Deploying super fast bitter candy. Beep beep, mode disabled. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate request, but may I remove the paper on my back for now? It's a little inconvenient for me. Karen forgives this time. Next time, no mercy. Best make sure she doesn't listen to that radio channel again. Virgilius looked on with an inscrutable expression as Karen peeled the snack thief sign off Vespa's back. Make sure to remember this so I don't have to think of I'm burning through what little candy chance I have left on such trivial nonsense. Thank you. Vespa gave a polite thanks, but he was already picking something off another plate and stuffing it into his mouth. Stop it! Stop eating random stuff! Oh my fucking god. Wait a minute. I was saving that for later. I assumed you were being picky. Well, now you know, yet I still see you gobbling up my share. Ugh, he took my snack too, Verg. Kick his ass. Rodion Romanovich. I am aware that half of the total snacks budget allocated to each dinner is being funneled into your snacking expenses. And now you're raiding the LCE supplies as well? Rodya, my fat queen. Stop eating. Chill, that stuff's been agreed upon, okay? Besides, that's that, and this is this. Shut the fuck up, you're not Roland! What the fuck? Why is everyone LARPing as the Black Silence? Why is everyone LARPing as the Black Silence? Virgilius would be like, Virgilius was like, oh man, I've heard this shit before. I've heard it from the guy himself. The lines on Virgilius's brow looked deeper than usual today. Okay, take care, Wild Hunt Heathcliff. Hoping to help him out of his endless cycle of snack-related headaches, and to satisfy my own nagging curiosity, I drew near our guide and broke his brooding silence with my TikTok. Did we learn anything about Sinclair's sign? Dante is inquiring about the outcome of the research on the sign. I've heard from the researchers, but nothing of particular significance came out of it. Observation of the sign has so far been limited to 2 individuals, the manager and Sinclair. Due to the limited accessibility of the phenomenon, the only verifiable information has so far been its existence. Researching that which cannot be observed is bound to be difficult. Faust has a point. Aside from Sinclair, none of the sinners can actually see the sign. And the same would go for the researchers. Even Sonia said that only a few select people could perceive it. If there were more individuals bearing signs, there would be a wider pool for a comparative analysis of statistical samples to narrow down the scope. However, records indicate no suitable references exist. At present, the research effort is limited to reducing value of variables, such as whether or not the irregular phenomena are tied to the location where the battle took place. By individuals bearing signs, you mean people like Damien and Sanson? Wait, then could those guys do what Sinclair did? Pull in some superpowered future self and just wreck everything? Even Sonya? I should step in and put an end to this subject before Rodya gets the blues. She's so depressed, like, man, I am so normal compared to all these other sinners. The only thing that I'm not normal with is the amount of snacks that I'm eating. Hello Zulip, welcome. I hope you're doing well. I don't think so, from what Ishmael and Paz reported back then. Right, Sinclair from the future said each sign carries a different power, I think. Maybe, you know, those layers of light rings Damien used to finish off Cromer, or Sanson dragging us into his story. Those could be it. I thought that seemed plausible. But yeah, isn't Rodya not being special the point? Yeah, it does seem to be that way. So none of that is information we can confirm yet. Correct, as you have stated, any discussion of this subject would not venture beyond the realm of wild speculation. Nothing has been proven yet, ergo, fear would be an unnecessary response at present. This at best grounded in supposition, but it would seem that the researchers are coaxing forth a hypothesis from the vestiges left in the wake of Sinclair's future self. Oh, that bit about the sun maybe being some singularity or whatever, yeah? The precise position of the hypothesis was that the fundamental principles of the science working may be equivalent to those of singularities or relics. But as no actionable evidence was obtained from Sinclair, there is presently no means by which this hypothesis may be validated. I see, then nothing came out of them dragging Sinclair off for that research. Oh, you also thought I was being dragged off, but still let it happen anyway. No, I mean... I'm kidding. I thought I tried to go along with the mood. The old Sinclair wouldn't have even thought of to joke around like that. He's really changed lately, for the better, I think. So, did anything happen that we should worry about? I stuck close to him just in case nothing serious came up. Just took some blood, a small skin sample. Oh, they were also checking if the sign reacts to electrical stimulation. So they shocked Sinclair. Just imagining that one. Yes, let us administer a controlled shock. Like the one in FNAF. Yeah, and need to fill out some questionnaires too. Things like, please describe what you remember from the battle exactly as it happened, or list the sensations you felt when you regained consciousness. And your memories of that moment you have yet to return. No, I don't know if they'll ever come back actually. Pao said they only exist with my future self, so... Wait, but for my future self to even have those memories, shouldn't I carry them in the first place? Which comes first? Bro, you're talking about a paradox. A paradox, it would seem. Yeah, that's what I said. In such a case. That Sinclair is merely one branch among many possible futures. If the future unfurls into boundless branches by means of ceaseless bifurcation, then the body of information that constitutes a certain future could scatter into grains more fleeting than dust, to diminish to ever reverse their course and trace their back path to the self that now exists. Is that the theory suggested? Not a certainty, but plausible interpretation. Here you go again, more of that nonsense only you lot understand. Boy, memory or not, that future guy still came out of him, didn't he? Some part of him's got to be left in there somewhere, yeah? Like muscle memory or whatever. Perhaps he can still pull off some of those tricks back then? Tricks from back then? Heard you kicked off proper out there. Even pulled out the trick you picked up from that bastard old geezer, right? Not just that, it was using that Mang technique quite effortlessly too. Wow, that glowing ring thing? Yep, the glowing ring thing. He had two of them coiled around his weapon. Here's the glowing ring thing? Bro, even Sinclair doesn't remember. Amazing. And this is the first time I'm hearing anything about it. Alright, so what exactly is that glowing ring thing, anyone? Maybe some technique that enhances physical capability? I mean, I guess that flashy aura that makes you real tough's one part of it. But there's gotta be more, right? Yeah, I know, right? It's actually cool. Dunno, could be a secret finger thing that they pass down to their members. Technique, gear, something like that. Look at it, the Black Coney leader, that Leyhen prick. And the nurse fathers we fought. Whole lots of them fingers, aren't they? The notion seems to unravel. For even among the LCD, there were those who came to wield it. And Virgilius too. So what? Only the proper hard bastards can use it? Some posh top-end trick, is it? Without anyone in particular prompting it, the sinners slowly turned their gaze toward Virgilius and Vespa. Yeah, they didn't listen to it. Come on, it's like reading. I only learned to wield it from my team leader too. I have a sensory understanding of Shin, but I can claim nothing too profound. However, what I can spare are some rumors, though they are all without proper sources. Rumors? They circulated among elite fixers and association leadership that there exists power called Shin, capable of enhancing the body without having to pay expensive upkeep costs. A rumor among fixers, sayest thou? Yes, even the technique to manifest it. How to tips, really. Spread through hearsay. Oh yeah, that tracks. That super rookie column in the latest mag bonus vid. Bro was really popping off with that. Straight up aura farm with the shiny mang wrapped around the weapon. Must be that my eyes have yet to be privy upon to seeing such a marvel in a video. Wait, you serious? In the latest issue, literally in the videotape on the back. Maybe you missed it? Videotape? Alas, for many a week I've been stranded from Mephi, relieving me of the chance to read not only the prior chronicle, but the latest one as well. Woe is me. When I return, I shall feast through the night upon those noble exploits of adventuring fixers. As dawn chaotic them dramatically spiraled into a state of utter dejection, Otis cut into the conversation, her gaze narrowing with suspicion. From what I recall, the mantle of Shin grants its users a high degree of physical enhancement. There is no such thing as reinforcement without supplies. No power of that magnitude comes without an equivalent cost to wield it. That power relies on emotion and will for manifestation. Its output is not consistent like prosthesis and augmentation. And depending on how it is used, the consequence it demands can reach levels comparable to the ego you use. I mean to say that its exact toll is upon the mind. I can walk you through the fundamentals if you'd like. From what I observed, it appeared to be a technique reserved for those of considerable strength. At our current level, it is not unreasonable to assume that we could make use of it. Just imagine every base sinner ID, they just pop Shin and Mang. Can you imagine that? Like in the future, you uptie 5 or uptie 6, the base Sinner ID, and it instantly gives them Shin and Mang. Regarding that, our team leader has been conducting intensive research, and according to her, physical strength itself has little bearing on one's ability to learn and wield Shin. As the Yellow Harpoon says, it is in essence a power that can be learned by almost anyone, provided they know the proper method of training. Vespa's brows visibly twitched the moment Yellow Harpoon left Virgilius's lips. Yeah, doesn't seem like he's a big fan of his own title, the Yellow Harpoon. Well, it fits, I think. He's got those yellow stripes on his clothes and he uses a harpoon too. Can he argue with that? Yellow Harpoon? Thank you, Yellow Harpoon. Yellow Harpoon? Because you got yellow stripes on your clothes and you use a harpoon? Oh, right. This is the Chainsaw Man fucking meme. If I were to exaggerate, even Sinner Yisang's pre-contract self could manage to learn it. Why must this self of mine be chosen as the point of comparison? Well, cause you're the wimpiest one here. Don't let it get to you. Even so, it would be a mistake to assume it's a power anyone can grasp with ease. As long as you're bound by contract as sinners, your ability to wield it will be severely limited, unless you rely on particular identities or come upon an extraordinary circumstance. Shame that. Would have been useful. Hey, then what about me? Can I learn it too? Kira, who had been fidgeting with her fingers, raised an arm and asked as though she couldn't hold the question back any longer. Come to think of it, the middle nurse father didn't use any Shin or Mang. Papa never told me how to use it. He always said I could get stronger without a stupid crutch like that. It wasn't that he didn't teach you. He couldn't. He was a man who probably had never once reflected upon his own sins. A piece of trash like him would be incapable of even comprehending such a power in the first place. Vespa's responses always came back dripping with venomous hatred whenever the conversation turns to the topic of the fingers. Kira must have noticed too, or perhaps she simply couldn't find the right words to push back. Either way, she held her tongue, her expression setting into a blend of frustration and something that looked a little too close to sadness. If you want to reduce it to a yes or no, then yes. You will be able to learn it with the odds in your favor. That is assuming that the company decides to tolerate your continued existence. I already said I get it! As it stands, you're nothing more than a pending case of disposal. Closer to a threat than you are to an ally, strictly speaking. Yeah, probably Ryoshu. Yeah. I think a lot of the sinners can probably use the Shin if they weren't in contract. Don't get comfortable because the manager and the sinners treat you with lenience. Step out of line and you will be the one who pays the price. There was nothing in what Virgilius said that I could argue with. Kira had been a member of the House of Spiders. She murdered scores of LCE researchers and left us with plenty of memories we'd rather not revisit. For now, we're just working together. Not contesting that decision doesn't mean we have no hard feelings towards her. Leaving Kira all alone with her thoughts, the sinners slipped back into their own business, snacks, idle chatter, and conversations about whatever had happened around LCE. The examination is concluded. I suppose it won't be an issue to let you hear the results together. And before we knew it, Hohenheim and Ryoshu returned. Renketsuan. I see. Renketsu. To present the conclusions first, no, the notion of the sword being a sentient one is incorrect. The locus of the will is not the blade but the scabbard. An ego forged in a rather paradoxical nature. Yes, that would be the most appropriate description. Not a sentient sword, huh? Ryoshu's grumpy dismissal made the scabbard quiver almost as if it had taken offense. Just like, how dare you, mommy? How dare you say that to me? Somehow I felt like I could understand what Hohenheim meant by will now. It was a reunion of sorts, one that gave both a tinge of sadness and hope. If the scabbard has its own will, does that mean that the owner of that will can be resurrected? It is too premature to deliberate on the matter. The state of existence under question is not one that may be defined as death at the moment. I assume they ask whether it can be revived or brought back to life, so to speak. Even supposing that survival is a fixed variable and that the reconstruction of the original corporeal body falls within the realm of theoretical possibility, the probability approaches zero given the limits of today's technology and conditions. Few researchers are inclined to entertain even infinitesimal chances, but in the terminology of the lay people like yourself, such a prospect would be labeled impossible, wouldn't it? There is no need to fixate on the impossibilities of the present, Manager Dante. Such matters are reserved for us scientists to hold on to. Right. But we may have uncovered a thread, something that could lead to restoring Senior Ryoshu's memories. Though again, that too is merely a possibility. A far more practical avenue for you to pursue at the moment, nevertheless. And to that end, yes, further analysis on the scabbard itself would be necessary. Coordinate with Alan for your next duty. He should still be in the ring nurse father's headquarters. That would be all. Owenan cut himself off there, clamping his mouth shut as if any further exchange might scatter and mess up the theories he'd constructed in our conversation. Alright then, before we go, anyone wanna tag along? Munching on food, averting their gaze, the sinners were pretending they weren't interested at all. But going by the way their forks had long since stopped moving, it was pretty clear to me that they'd been intently listening in our conversation. Where are we to go? Right, sorry, forgot the rest of you weren't there with us earlier. Faust, Don Quixote, Ryoshu, and I have been checking where each back door leads. Oh, and Kira too. The prisoner of war, executive manager. You talking about me? Yeah, I guess. I'm working with them too, yeah. Best remember to tread carefully. Should you cause even the slightest harm to the executive manager, you will be held accountable without exception. Hey, welcome back, Wild Hunt Heathcliff. Yeah, sure, whatevs. Kira needled at Otis with a mocking pout, but oddly enough, she didn't appear particularly irritated. Anyway, I think it'd be better if we had a few more people, just to be safe. One of the doors we went into earlier led straight to the ring's corridor. That was a close call. Otis and Heathcliff's hands shot up the moment I finished speaking. I would very much like to accompany you, executive manager. I knew I could rely on you, Otis. Your recognition of my loyalty honors me, executive manager. I, Otis, understand better than anyone you're concerned about the peril of working with a prisoner of war so liable to betray. To have your indispensable self proceed with only a handful of soldiers under your command, this cannot stand. I'm afraid I won't be able to focus on other duties without personally seeing to your safety. I get it, Otis. You made your point clear enough. Did I miss anything? We saw one of the ring's maestros, you know? Emile Benoit. What the heck, man? Suddenly got are you like doing an Otis bit? But thank you for the 5, Alden. I hope you've been doing great. Yeah. Sorry, this is a spoiler. This is technically Canto 9 Part 4 with how things are going. But yes, thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. I get it, Otis. You make your point clear enough. Not keen now, just kill over the moment you summon me. Feels a bit dodgy, that. Better I stick by your side and scrap it out myself. Oh, really? I'm glad that she's doing okay then. Hopefully she recovers soon. Like, you know, completely. You probably don't need me to come along then. Guess you can just summon the rest of us like you did earlier if shit hits the fan. Hello, Tampio. Welcome, welcome. A research yet unfinished holds my efforts. I shall join you once it has found closure. I don't think I can be on much help wherever you're going. I'll pass. I'll follow if that is your order, manager. I don't know, it's fine. Just get some rest. They'll probably be okay. I can always summon them again if things get too dangerous. For now, I should go see Alan again. Saru? Like a monkey or something? Monkey. Okay, I'm gonna get support. Get me more Rodya. Give me more Rodya. Okay, thank you. So that's 40, 60. Yeah, 120.
닥쳐라 해파.
Yeah, I'm actually sleepy, but it is what it is. Also, it's because I'm reading, you know? Usually I don't read when it's like the Limbus streams. Yeah, I'm kind of tired actually. See, I'm telling you, my sleep schedule being fixed actually does not bode well for streaming. It's only like almost 2 a.m., but I'm already like so tired, so sleepy. Ah, you've arrived. I was waiting for you. We sifted through and isolated the doors with the highest probability of leading into the Rings Gallery. The next step would be to enter the alternate door you mentioned, but... Hold up a sec. I was actually gatekeeping more stuff. Huh? Gatekeeping? Are you saying you have more to tell about gates? Doors? Yep. That door over there, pretty sure it connects to N-Corp's nest. I saw Albina going in, all hyped up about some canned whatever it was. Gatekeeper. Hello, A19. I hope you're doing well. And that wooden door with the bandages wrapped around the handle? Papa'd go in there to cross out vengeances. From what the book said, it's probably a turf protected by the Thumb subsidiary or something. Unlike earlier when she offered only vague snippets, even about just a single door, Kira was now feeding Alan a stream of intel that seemed solid even to someone as clueless about the back doors as me. She's far more cooperative than anticipated, even after that Alan character roughed her up, from what I hear. Yeah, you'd think she'd clam up out of spite. Well, I wonder if she changed her mind about cooperating with us. Nevertheless, we mustn't let her guard down, Executive Manager. There's no telling when she'll turn on us. Oh, Otis, you're kinda silly. Yeah. Freaking, I can literally hear everything you're saying, you know? Alright then, based on the intel, please proceed by investigating the safest door first. As for high-risk ones, I'll continue checking and letting you know which ones you need to enter. Alan tinkered with the devices around him and flashed a couple of doors with blue light. Guess that means we start with those. Where do you guys want to go first? They all look about the same. Just start with the closest one. Well, Alan did say these are the safest ones, so it shouldn't matter which one. Just as I reached for the nearest door as Heathcliff told me to, Ryoshu suddenly veered off, stepping in front of another one that stood a few steps apart. This door, it feels familiar. You recognize that door? I think I passed through it a few times when I was little. Hardly had Ryoshu stopped speaking when a fragmented memory, painted over in parts, slipped into my mind. Sorry, it hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster. Oh, I know, let's go for a walk. But I don't recall much about it. That memory just now, could it be tied to Araya? Let's start with that door. Okay, this one, yeah? Here we go. Impatient as ever, Heathcliff shoved the door open and strode in first. The rest of us followed, including Kira and the other sinners. And this place is... Judging by its state, it seems to be a welfare facility located within a nest, most likely a park. Every sod walking here is dragging some animal along, means they've got money to burn. Proper rich lot, this place. Feels so depressing. Which one? Which one feels depressing? The walk, the past Ryoshu mentioned in her memory, and the sight of people passing over the pets. The pieces clicked together, and I voiced the other memory I saw back at the House of Spiders. Did you ever come here with a puppy named Saru? Yeah, I remember that. Not a puppy though. Saru was a bit bigger by then. Sorry, it hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster. Aww, no, he's so sad. Why is she getting any better? Why isn't she getting any better? You gave her lots to eat. I know, wanna go for walkies? You love walkies, don't you, Saru? Bark. There's this workshop Dad always visits. The door's connected to a park. We can go right now. Ryoshi's childhood memory burned bright in my vision before passing. That was her as a kid? Verily, such gentleness doth seem most unlike the young Ryoshu. Hey, Clock, who said you could show them my memories with willy-nilly? No, come on, you know, it's not something I can control. GG. Back in the House of Spiders, I was the only one who could see the vision of Ryoshi's past. This time, though, her memories seemed to manifest for everyone around, just like what we experienced in H Court with Honglu. Which probably means... Why are you all staring at me? That's so random, what the hell? Did you not see that just now? See what? You guys zoning out together? Yeah. Guess it doesn't apply to Kira. Then again, unlike how it was between Lim Dayu and Honglu, Kira doesn't have any direct connection to Ryoshu. I guess it makes sense. Was that adorable hound thy companion of old young Ryoshu? Indeed, my one and only best friend. No. And because of that, Saru would be locked away in the vault every time I had to depart on an assignment, with a spiral driven through her. The first ever leash. Looking back, it might have been a kinder fate that she had died sooner. To inflict such cruelty upon a voiceless animal, how can such wickedness be born? What happened to Saru in the end? She died before her time. I don't recall why, but there was this day when Saru wouldn't stop whimpering in pain, and I shut myself in my room, crying. I've been seeing you in YouTube for the past week. Yeah, because I keep on posting, that's why. But hello, welcome. I'm glad that you like cars because they're cool. Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to like posting videos, yeah. But when it comes to streaming, you know, it's a different thing. Hello. Hello, best Ujat leader. Welcome. You were? That's someone else? Who else? Oh, see. It was me. Even after witnessing the fragment of memory, Heathcliff looked utterly unconvinced. While I was grieving, Callisto offered a solution, that he would give me a gift the next day. And what I received was something he called the Beastbone Blade, a Canto that would whine and yelp with Sarah's voice in every swing. Ew, no way! I always knew there was something creepy with Robo-Unk. That's how he killed your dog, huh? No, he didn't. Yeah, kill Saru. That Tanto was alive. Did you just say alive? Bloody hell, right nutter, that psycho. Her eyes were embedded in it like adornments. They'd stare at me in accusation. A tiny heart beat as though it was quaking with fear. It was a horrible sight, and I felt pity. So I shortened what remained of her time with my own hands. Me thinking after hearing all that, why do you still mess with that art thing then? Let's be honest, after seeing something like that, you'd want to steer well clear, yeah? Right, those things are called artworks were also cursed. Straight up nightmare fuel. Like, I haven't really checked out other ring artworks outside Albina and her nurse fathers, so maybe I'm just a noob when it comes to all that, but yeah, her stuff never gave me any art vibes for real, for real. I thought the same. Well, I was terrified at first, yet as I learned more, there were some facets that suited my taste. You'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get the Mercel ID. I believe. Thou findest appeal in those grotesque creations. From what you've told me about Callisto, it looks like he failed to stick to his own advice. But there's something he always used to say. Art is wholly subjective, and thus one must never expect the understanding of others. The uncanny, the horrible, there's a beauty that lies in the grotesqueness of it all. Can't say I quite get it, but if you say so. Nah, but bloody hell, how do you end up getting used to that kind of thing? Why do you need to understand? You're not an artist. I got used to it, but that bastard Callisto's installation artwork caused night terrors and nightmares for. The scabbard moved and Byoshu came to a pause. It trembled, but there was at once a strange liveliness to it, as though it quivered between fear and anticipation. Night terrors, crying from nightmares in the House of Spiders. There's actually someone who got scared of ring stuff back in your day? I need to check something. We've seen enough here. Let's go back. Oh my god, man. She was so close. She was so close to remembering. Yeah, nothing else worth checking around here anyway. With the inspection complete, we quickly followed Ryoshu back. He stood in front of the artwork, covered in sheets of cloth, lost in thought. Right here, there used to be a huge artwork displayed here. I don't know what kind of impulse struck him, but the bastard went about fussing, saying he needed practice so he wouldn't lose his touch. Mommy! What's wrong? Over there. But I told you to keep the exhibition in your room. Ah, you've returned, Yoshihide. I decided to attend the installation art of a somewhat larger scale this time, but I ran out of space in my gallery. Mommy, people were screaming. Ah, dearest Yoshihide, Araya has reached an age where she may be introduced into the world of aesthetics. Surely this wouldn't be a problem. It would. You liking it and me acquiring the taste doesn't mean Araya will. Ah! Let's get you back to our room. I was hugging something in my arms. It was crying. Saru? No, too big to be Saru. The lacerated memories can never be made whole, no matter how many fragments are glued together. We could tell Ryoshu everything we knew about Araya, but it would never truly reach her. Oh yeah, it is. It's like that arch. Yeah, the arch. A certain enemy. I love this intervallo. Yeah, this isn't even an intervallo, you know. This is just Canto 9 Part 4. I see. This hollow void. This must be Araya. The sensation and emotion for what's been emptied begin to entangle with Ryoshi's memories. And that makes it possible for us to reminisce about Araya together. The soft rattle Araya seemed to show how pleased she was with this small step. Alright, time to check out the next door. We entered several more back doors that Alan pointed out. But unfortunately, none of the places we ended up in steered Ryoshi's memories any further. Pretty much nothing here. I think we're done. What the? How'd they get in here? Startled, Kira pointed ahead where figures wearing animal masks were hauling what looked like massive lumps of flesh hidden behind a tent of sorts. Was ring assailants from before? Didst thou not say thou hast sealed that door earlier? How then did these villains come to stand before us once more? They probably infiltrated by an entirely separate route, another back door. As you can see, their objective appears to be the retrieval of the Ringnar's father's artworks. Get on with it! We need to move as many faces as we can before we pull out! But I thought Roborunk was washed? He's got so many fanboys and fangirls here. Does this artwork possess value in and of itself? Or is it just a case of posthumous premium of death effect? Think about it. Some of the pieces have already been taken. Of course, they are of little value to both our companies. Watching them sweating and struggling to drag those mediocre pieces with them. Pretty funny. But imagining how these pieces will be labeled with some pathetic notion of heritage connected to my name and their description plagues, pretty unsavory. They may be occupied with transporting those objects for now, but they will likely soon find cause to harm the Wayfarer and LCE personnel stationed here, Executive Manager. It would be prudent to eliminate them without delay considering the ring's reputation. Otis is right, better to wipe them out before they try anything stupid. Guys, looks like we've gotten another job to do. Lend me a hand. The radio didn't buzz with the sinner's replies this time, but it should be fine. Man, yeah, she was really protecting her. Furries! Look at them furries! So just do your whatever. Just do whatever. I love it when they all roll tails. Brum 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 brum. Brum 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 brum. Brum 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 brum. Brum 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 brum. Wow, yeah, right. There's a sinking bleed. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Roger, you lost Flash. Can you fucking believe this bullshit?
필연적 절대적 바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩 아이씨 짜증나게 결정 해본 좋아해 지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네
And look at them. Win rate. Nah, I don't win rate. I like to pretend that I'm playing the game.
아이씨 짜증나게
Open the curtain, lights on. Don't miss a moment of this. Oh, the book is straight, like clockwork orange.
예술을
Keep your eyes buttered till the
저것들
end.
전부 녹여서 썰어버려도
With
상관없지
you, where you going to be? Mm. Inside the mirror, do you see someone else in the body? Someone else. I will sing whatever. Yeah. Besides, if you think about it, yeah, you know, the rings theme is often kinda similar to like the ones in Europe. If yeah, like the one with Albina and stuff like that. Actually, pretty yeah.
저희 뼈를 그리자 저희 살로 채워주세요 친해졌네요 아이씨 짜증나게
Yeah, this poor guy is just alone. Okay, you're gonna die now.
이제야
Get styled. He just yeah, Albina Faust just styling on him. With this, the last of the ring's infiltrators have been eradicated. Is that all of them? Ryosha kept glancing around as if searching for someone, but fortunately, no other ring members were in sight. I know, right? Why did she do all that? She just did a tumble. Right, but where the hell are those lot coming from anyway? Weren't just the first wave, had more sods legging it from the back like they've been lurking somewhere else. According to the tracking logs recorded by the surveillance devices installed here, they appear to have crossed over from another corridor. Another corridor? What precisely does the designation to another corridor refer to? The room resembling a shopping mall, the one filled with batches of toys on display. Your company, if I recall correctly, designated this as the corridor of the middle nurse father. Oh, I suggest we relocate there. Your assigned tasks here have been wrapped up. Oh, and before we set off, do you have any information to share in advance? We are planning to compile a comprehensive encyclopedia cataloging the notable characteristics of these corridors and all their connection loci. Your cooperation will be most appreciated. You seem to be hesitate, gnawing at her nails as if she were going through an inner struggle. Before long, however, she snapped out of it like she just locked in on a decision. She locked in! Sure, I got stuff to tell you, like hella stuff. Some parts are kind of fuzzy, not gonna lie, but I can still recall like 20 places clear now. I mean it. It was home for me and Papa, so... I got nothing. Never once regarded that fucker's room as a home. My memories of it are all fragments at best. Scabbard gave a faint, restless stare. Perhaps it wanted to comfort Ryoshu in the only way it could. And accompanied by its tremors, we began our move towards the corridor of the middle.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기
Yeah,
위해
it was already a
인정받은 세
given.
가지 작품을
Like, look
뜻하지.
at that. She did it.
비록
Look at
지금
her.
제 작품이
What the fuck are you
만인의
doing?
신금을 울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에
Anyway.
부끄럽지 않은 작품을
Oh wait, how many
선보이고 있는
rewards then? I only have 300. That's not nearly enough. Give me more Rodia. There you go. Who the fuck puts their freaking R-Corp Rodia into the support? Yeah.
어떤 조직 놈들인지 면면 좀 받을까?
The heck? They swiped everything that wasn't nailed down, huh? Fret not. I espy thither half of thy worldly possessions, articulated fixer figurine, video game cartridges. Not talking about my toy box, okay? Had hella many of them anyway. My TV's gone, the couch too. As Kira said, only a conspicuous empty space was left where the television and family couch set used to be. Oh, those? LCU researchers hold them away. From the sound of it, they're going to set them up in their staff lounge. Hell yeah! Now that's what we're talking about. You gotta loot the place for the fun. Valuables? Fuck that. Entertainment. As for the leather and the ornaments, they said they'll be selling them off. Yeah? Otis seemed to notice something the moment she caught Kira's wistful look. The corners of her lips curled into a faint smile as she spoke with feigned nonchalance. Who knows, with sufficient cooperation, perhaps they'd become more receptive to the idea of returning those items. Assuming much, I never said I wanted them back. Anyway, I'll tell ya about what I know, so come this way if you want in. These two doors here, made from paper and wood, they connect to S-Corp. The one reinforced with steel, that one leads to V-Corp, back streets, where... Having lived there and made frequent use of the doors herself, Kira was clearly the right person for the job of identifying where each door Wayfarer company had asked us to explore land. Directed by Kira and accompanied by Alan, we checked the doors one by one. Good work. All data seems to match. Thank you for your cooperation. Until there was just one back door left to open. I know this isn't anything new, but I've gotta say, these back doors are just too bloody convenient. Them portals too. It ain't doing anything shady like the warp drains either, is it? Yours is as simple as turning the knob and entering. Seems like you'll outpace your business rival in no time. I'm a bit hard-pressed to agree with the too convenient sentiment when it comes to using backdoors and portals, but since your intent was to claim Wayfarer's superiority over the current W Corp, I'll take that as a compliment. Did I say something wrong? Every technology comes with a cost, Heathcliff. Aptly said. While this has been a workday relatively free of casualties thanks to the quality information you have provided, do understand that the Wayfarer company's primary services include pathfinding, path security, and path maintenance. Each of those services is fraught with life-threatening dangers for our employees. Some never return after embarking on a pathfinding journey. Some are killed while battling monstrous entities whose exact natures haven't been fully confirmed yet, that appear on the liminal space between the paths. Guys, they got the back rooms. They got the back rooms in Limbus company. I can't believe the back rooms was actually a Project Moon thing. It also costs a pretty penny to keep the secured path, well, secure. I'd say our operating cost is on the rather steep side, especially considering that we're also trying to prevent our rivals from taking this corner of the market. Thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen Alan enter a door to a new location with his helmet off. Be one of his precautions, just in case. Maybe his dry smile and unsettling lack of reaction to anything are hints that he's simply seen too much to be faced by most horrors. Still, our work's gotten considerably easier for this job thanks to the help of everyone here. Honestly, this partnership is working much better than I expected. Very well then, let's take a look at the last door. Hello Ryan, welcome. Have a good one. It's the door Papa used to walk through all the time. I followed Kira into the door, and the second I crossed over the threshold, a breeze carrying an oddly familiar, salty smell tickled the tip of my nose. One of my clock hands. Amogus. This one connects to somewhere in the general Great Lake area, it seems. Welcome to U-Corp's giant stingray port ship. Stingray, huh? Why does that ring a bell? Hang on a minute, it's that place, isn't it? The port ship that has the Salon du Moliu? The private hair salon. Oh no! Bro, Heathcliff. How? Oh shit! Heathcliff chimed in with a shudder, as though the sheer weight behind his words had terrified him. Whoa! That would signify then that we shall finally be made audience to young Heathcliff and his hairdo most luscious. Quit it with that luscious nonsense, lass. Why encourage me now when you were so cavalier about blasting my villainous arse back in the lake? Indeed. Alas, 'tis true that punishment wrought upon your merry band hath severely outweighed the crime. Wouldst thou not agree, young Heathcliff, that to put the coupons to use would remedy thy pain a smidge? Bugger it. I ain't even got anyone to spruce up for anymore. Sweet, then can I use them? You were regulars at that Moalu place, Papa and me. Papa would ask the middle fam for a favor and he'd bring loads of coupons back home. They give away a hair coupon every 10 visits, you see, so what am I even yapping about all excited? Hero seemed ready to launch into a cheerful rant, came to an abrupt pause like a bike tripping over a ledge. Her face fell as she lowered her gaze and scuffed a pebble away. Did you want an explanation? I think it was pretty clear cut as to why you got kicked, you know. Looking back, I guess Papa did hella care for me, so why? I think it was pretty much related to it when when the screenshot was showed to me. Wait, it's got to be so complicated. Matthias gave you that anesthetic BC. The heck's a BC? Bullcut. Bro, listen, like I said, that's not how you shorten these things. For some reason, Ryosha seemed almost gleeful to hear Kira correcting her acronym. It was reminiscent of that self-satisfied look she'd get after confusing us with those acronyms, especially during the early days of our bus journey. Thinking back, ever since Sinclair's translations became reliable enough. The singers had less reason to voice their frustrations with Ryosha's acronyms, which in turn gave her fewer causes to snicker about. I'm not sure why, but something tells me that she might be making her acronyms ridiculously incomprehensible on purpose. Okay, sleep well, Burton. Honestly, I don't want to deal with it, you know. That's why I had moderators on. It was okay. You know what? Oh, I guess I have to deal with it either way. It was like right there. You were like saying proof, you know. The person was saying that they're a woman, and then you say that, you know, again, proof. There is no proof. You already said that she's trans, and you immediately said that because of that she's a man. I think that no, it's not even transphobia, you know. Transphobia implies that you're afraid of them. It's more of like bigotry, something like that. It didn't sound like a joke. That's the thing. See, the problem is that you can't really communicate tone with text, you know? That's the problem. That was the problem. You know, if it was in a VC with like people that you know, like you have sufficient um like let's say you're friends with them, you know, something like that, and then you're like in a VC, and then you're just joking around and stuff like that, you know. I have seen way too many people call each other like slurs and shit like that, but they're between friends, you know. They're between friends, you know. There's like funny haha VC stuff wherein, you know, you're with people that you trust and stuff like that, or people that you're at least very acquainted with, and then you say, hey, you know, you're this and that and stuff like that, and you throw that shit to each other only because you're the only people that are there. You know, I'm not gonna deny that stuff like that happens and shit. But they themselves yeah, okay, so I wasn't there, okay? I was only shown the screenshots and everything. I checked the logs and stuff like that, you know. All I'm saying is that it really is hard to communicate tone when you're on the internet. I'm not saying that you are transphobic. I'm not saying that you guys are transphobic. I'm not saying that you guys are bigoted. All I'm saying is that the action seemed like it, you know. See, when you're communicating with people, okay, when you're communicating with people, when you're interacting with people at all, whether it's online or in real life, the problem is you should also think about how the person that you're talking to, you're communicating with, should react. Okay, it's you will expect, okay, you have expectations on how someone should react to something that you said, right? That's a thing. That's a thing. But real life, no, real people are more complicated than that, you know? You can't always expect people to react the same way that you expect them to. That's always something. Anyway, let's just continue. If your conjecture is correct, executive manager, she has one tasteless sense of humor. From what I recall, the toys and games he was into were pretty retro. Must have been annoying to play along. At first, but the more I played along, the more I got into it. Still corny and juvenile as shit though. I know out of that conflict with B. Trifling and apocryphal they may be, yet we are all compelled to peer hindwards at the interests of the family. Yeah, I wanted to know what Papa was into, to really get what he was talking about. Besides, I needed to know these things if I wanted to chat them out and talk about a mutual subject, so... He'd tell me about you all the time, Yoshihide. Proud shit. Not a day went by without him saying stuff like, Yoshihide learned this in 2 days, or, yo, this was what Yoshihide's played, you know? Too bad I wasn't there to tell you that his words weren't worth shit. I once thought of him the same as you do now, a good man, at least among the nurse fathers, caring enough to bring me gifts. But one day I realized that he'd never understand the things I really cared about, even if his life had depended on it. One day, thou sayest? Pray tell, was there aught that had changed thy perception of that man? That I don't remember when or why, just that it happened. Wait, I might know this. Wasn't it something that happened at school? Papa told me that things started getting awkward between you and him ever since you quit school. Bullshit. I've never been to school. I'd never even thought of wanting to go to school. Matthias must have been talking out of his ass again. Huh? No way, bro. Even saw a clip of it. What? Papa showed me that video when he was teaching me how to use these doors. I even saw baby you going, I'm off to school, Dad, in that video. So pretty dang sure. But I don't. As Kira went on, Ryoshi's confidence from her initial retort seems to slip away. I couldn't blame her, so much of her memory has been mutilated. Ryoshi didn't sound like she was denying it out of hand, though. She seemed to mean it when she said she'd never been to school and had never even wanted to. And I want to glimpse the fragment of memory that made her say that. The moment I willed it, a scene from her past suddenly flashed across my eyes. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. There is an blah 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 blah. A subsidiary of the Ring Academy. Sure it was a school, not like an art academy or something like it? Wait, that kinda makes more sense, yeah. Must have been an academy, not a school. Academy of Art. Ha! Ryosho muttered a few words as though they were pieces of a puzzle she was assembling. Then, after a brief moment, she turned towards me with an astounded scoff and a look of mild irritation. Clock. You deserve a smack. Ow! Then lightly smacked me upside the head with her scabbard. What was that for? Memory sucks, Clock. I've just been fine without it. But at least I got to remember the incident that changed my perspective on Matthias. Dad, how do I go to a school? School, Yoshihide? Well, I don't see why you would wish, let alone need to go to such an institution when we nurse fathers are here to provide you with all the education you require. You would later find our unique style of homeschooling to have been much more enlightening than a trudging around any of the less formulaic educational systems. But Dad, I saw him in a picture book, and I don't have any friends here. Oh, Rhiannon is pointless. But it is true that there are qualities that can be learned only through group erudition that engenders competition. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is Not entirely dissimilar from school. Really? I intend to send Yoshihide to an academy as part of my educational curriculum. There's an Academy of Art, a subsidiary of the Ring. Companionship with the other talented children of approximately her age will nourish the spirit of inspiration that will guide Yoshihide's growth. The prescript approves. But Callisto, I'll tell you now that you might be making a mistake. And how are you so certain of that? Do elaborate if you can hand puppet of the prescripts by whom every aspect of existence is articulated. What do you even know of choice, or what is right or wrong? Enough, they went. Perhaps a little more situational awareness would have prevented what is to come. Callisto found me a rather decent academy. The artworks that used to scare me when I was alone wasn't so bad when I was with other kids. No, that's not quite it. It'd be more accurate to say that I started to understand people's perspective on beauty. Of course I would, when all we ever did was to nod along the lecturers and spout purple prose, all the while making pincushions out of people's bodies like it was nothing. Our lesson today will focus on the corporist techniques. Now take a good look at the diagram here, then the mannequins before you. Weave the blood vessels in the same pattern as in the diagram, and you know why we're even allowed to cover stuff in this day and age. Right, I don't get the point of this slug is tying and shaping blood vessels to make a color that drop of ink can do better. I read that in a book. I'm more excited to learn about Cubist technique than this crap. Honestly, why is this washed up movement even a part of the curriculum? Just so boring, shallow gore stuff. No. Yeah, it's gory, but it's boring and shallow only because you guys are bad at it. What? Are you mad because your daddy's a lame corporist? Oh shit! Oh, is he? No wonder her stuff is just as... ow! I was taught that people who say bad things about my family deserve to get their butt kicked. Them bad-mouthing Callisto wasn't actually that what set me off. I didn't have any special reverence or attachment to family like Matthias did either. It's just what I was taught to dislike, that's all. Just one of those tantrums kids of that age have. Kids will be kids and all that. I'm home, Dad. Hey, buddy, you're home early. Oh man, must have been playing rough today, huh? You got dust all over. Got into a fight. A fight? Yeah, they kept saying dumb things about class stuff, so I smacked them. What about you? They didn't teach you anywhere, did they, buddy? On my cheek, but it's okay, because I punched them this many more times. Did I do good? That's my girl. Dad? Where are you going? You know. I heard from Alyssciel that they heard from TSUNUL that word this Intervallo was big. Yeah. It's just gonna become more and more like that. Just make it into a chain. You know, just got some business to take care of. Why don't you sit tight and work on a coloring book? That'll be home before you know it. Okay. Is it bro business? No, it's family business. Oh, oh shit. Ain't seen what's so bad about taking care of your own. Them snotty sods don't learn respect lest you beat them and beat it into them. Oh my god, he's gonna beat up those kids when... he's gonna beat up those kids. If only he'd been a simple-minded fool like you, then the story wouldn't have ended right there with a pat on my head. What? Papa, I mean, the middle doesn't stop there. Never does. Hurt a member of the family? That automatically gets you written up in the book. Yeah, and he did what he did in the end. Bro. Yo. There you are, Yoshide. Class starting already? My diligent little girl. Wonder who she takes after. That? I know, I said I'll be back before you know it, but I got a bit lost trying to find my way through the ring bastard's tricky mazes. You know how they are. Oh yeah, I news there's so many sniveling brats here. Well, as for their crimes, they slapped my buddy's face hard enough to leave a mark. That's an arm for you. As for the instructors, well, anyone would agree they did one sorry job of keeping these tykes under control. In that case, pursuant to Title 2, Section 52 of the book, execution by beheading, they clearly don't get much use of what sits on their shoulders, eh? How do you like it, buddy? Papa's the best, ain't he? How dare he? Such senseless, barbaric violence. Uncultured, uncivilized animal. Do not be discouraged, dearest Yoshide. I have eyed out yet another academy worthy of your talents. It is a much more significant and prestigious institution this time. I assure you, even an intemperate berserker like Matthias won't dare force his way into such a place as he did the previous academy. Don't wanna. Yoshida? I don't wanna go to an academy. I don't wanna go. I don't need friends anyway. For all his posturing, nothing that was ever important to me held any significance to Matthias. He took a lot away from me just to feel good about himself. So I hoped he, more than anyone, would never find out about the things I held dear, because I was afraid he would take them away from me like he did the others. But he'd always catch on faster than he had any right to. Every contract that took me away from the House of Spiders made me tremble in anxiety. Because I was worried about, I don't remember what. But I do know that I could never stop thinking about my room. So, whatever occupied the room in my absence must have been the most precious thing to me in the world. Scabbard, which had been staring lightly as Ryosho recounted her past, soon began to rattle audibly. It's doing that thing again. Ryosho patted the scabbard with a gentle, reassuring hand. Aww. The scabbard that was once Araya, a memory without attachment. It appeared to me almost as though she was pacifying a crying child. Seeing that gesture, Heathcliff briefly cast a sullen yet faintly expectant gaze between Ryosho's scabbard and my device. He must be thinking back to his last conversation with Catherine. But Catherine's existence, unlike Araya's, was erased by the golden bow itself. I doubt this device could do anything for Heathcliff at this point. From everything we know, the ring nurse father seems to have been the least awful parental figure in your childhood. Yeah, didn't know that Robor Unc was such a radical guy. Sent you to an academy like you want and didn't even get angry on your behalf? Oh, hazy memories, almost forgot to mention. A few days after that, Callisto left a snowman by my pillow as a gift. It was made of heads! Man, these guys are so amazing. Heads? Yes, decapitated heads from the incident at the academy, threaded together into a sculpture. Thinking back, it was one sorry excuse for an art. He's sorely mistaken if he thought some low-effort bullshit like that could make me feel better. No head. No, it's all the head. I think Matthias stole it because it's just, yeah, it's just something that he would do. He's a bum. Could have spared us the details, lass. Well, with that covered, do you guys wanna head back? Hang on. Stop, gonna get that luscious treatment before heading back? Shut it, you. That ain't it. Look there, those folks walking out of the salon. Are you kidding me? Obvious, ain't they? Found us. It would not be odd to find a field branch of the Ring's art movement in different districts of the city, especially that of the Fulvis scale, however. Various evidence, such as their masks and the fact that our group has immediately drawn their attention, suggests that they are in the same pack as the one making regular incursions into the House of Spiders. This is LCB, speaking to Team Leader Alan, requesting immediate commencement of lockdown sequence. Copy that. And why don't we... Holy shit, guys, stop! Bloody hell, what? Don't you know where you are? You're smack dab in the middle of protected turf. Cause a scene and bros and sisters of the middle will be here any second. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We've already drawn the Ring's unwanted attention. We certainly don't want the middle coming after us to the House of Spiders too. Now Kim Ji-hoon is projecting his Asian trauma from being an Asian kid. Sounds like you got a GI. Fuck. Ever played Whack-A-Mole? Like, why give ourselves a countdown? Just head back through the door now and beat up whoever thinks it's a great idea to walk in through the door. 5 nights in. 5 nights in the House of Spiders. Yeah, his mom was pretty bad. Yeah, I remember. I remember that interview. Honestly, pretty relatable. But it's, you know, it's not as bad, I think. I think I'm pretty lucky. Probably because my parents didn't know that I'm a lesbian. He puts forth a sound strategy, Executive Manager. As long as there's no high-ranking officer among them, it would be to our benefit. Well, then let's do as Kira says. That was quick. Alan blinked, shooting us a puzzled look as our entire squad came pouring through the door long before he finished the lockdown sequence. Due to the nearly emergent complication past the door, we have concluded that this location is the optimal point to intercept and engage the infiltrators from the Ring. This location, you say? Ah, wait, that door leads to a zone under a syndicate or a Wing's protection, doesn't it? Better idea to fight there then. Happy to work with someone quick on the uptake. It wasn't long before the Fovist began rushing through the open door. I didn't want to summon them while they're relaxing, but, well, it can't be helped. I summoned the sinners back to work. Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, more Malkuth.
예측할 수 없게. 짜증나게.
That feels bad for the Ring Corporist, by the way. Seems like the Ring has very low opinions about the Ring Corporist. Kinda sad, isn't it? Oh, what it is, what it is. That is that, and this is this. Yeah. If you're a Ring Syndicate member, what school do you think you'll fall into?
던져.
No win rate, I don't understand. See, I'm the only streamer that doesn't use win rate. At least like 90% of the time. I like the feeling of control that I have when it comes to I'm pretty sure that if I press win rate, it's probably gonna give the same thing as the one that I'm pressing right now. But I guess you know, as a person who played Lobotomy Corp and Ruiner first, I was like, man, the control, the sense of control that I have just yeah, just playing the game without win rating is just so good. Besides, you also get to do these kinds of stuff. Yeah, just you know. Surely there's a ring faction that does anime. You know what? I kind of want to see that. Do you think they make body fillers? I don't trust the win rate button because of Ruina. If you guys have played Ruina, you would know exactly what I'm talking about, because the auto combat on Ruina it's never gonna be a win rate. So what the fuck was that project?
좋아해. 지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네.
Yeah. Oh my god, guys, Sanguine Desire. Yeah, I just like the feeling of actually pressing the, you know, the thing. Yeah, the ruin or win rate is not win rate. It's just, yeah, it gives you the stuff. And I think it kind of manifests itself on the focused encounters. Have you seen the focused encounters when you try to press win rate on them as well? Like they just target the random, yeah, like random shit. $50 different libraries. More like rape, yeah, just rape. Man, don't you just hate it when the enemies die so easily that you couldn't even see Ring Honglu's artwork thing? Yeah. I've never done that, by the way. I've never used it.
이제야 친해졌네요. 저희 뼈를 크게 잡고 한 번에 나쁘지 않아요. 이제야
Yeah, I'm
친해졌네요.
just doing this for themes. Yeah. I'm just doing this for themes, you know, themes and such. Because, you know, they're like the House of Spiders. It's so funny. Like looking at all of them. House of Spiders and yeah. Yeah, it's just the House of Spiders. Yeah, for themes and such. And I should really stream
약지에
Ruina
감긴
again.
세 바퀴의 반지는
Sometimes I
마에스트로가
think
되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을
my
뜻하죠.
desire to
비록
do
지금 제
Ruina
작품이
is actually
만인의
starting
심금을
to
울리지는
go back again.
못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
During that time, oh really? Fighting Abnos? Okay, and that about wraps up the middle's corridor. Thanks to you folks, we managed to cut the door cataloging workload by 80%. Really appreciate everyone going the extra mile to check in each and every door too. Made my life a whole lot easier. All thanks to the manager's excellent strategization. Next up, the Thumbs corridor, but we actually found a lot of intel lying around here and there. So we just need you to check some of the doors in its basement. Intel. The manager expresses interest in the aforementioned intel. That, in the Thumbs corridor, we came across a bundle of papers detailing the comings and goings of the Thumbs members and their orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the logs has been diligently keeping them updated. The last entry was written not so long ago. Did you stream when you played Ruina for the first time? No. See, the thing is, I actually started up as a Ruina gaming channel. Like, I just post Ruina back then during the early access time. And the thing is, when it was just out of whimsy that I actually started posting videos for Ruina. Because I don't know, back in September of like 2020, back in September 2020, I just decided to like record myself playing Love Town. Yeah, I just recorded myself playing Love Town, and then I just posted the video on YouTube. And I was like even like being fancy and stuff like that. It's like, oh my god, here are the themes that I used. Check them out in the description. Oh my god, check them out. You know, like this is the theme that I use. These are the key pages and stuff like that. And then like I was thinking that I was gonna be like a serious Ruina gameplay channel, and then yeah. Actually, it went way off course. Yeah. Me streaming was a more recent thing. Even more so with voice streams. Because I remember back then when I started streaming Omori back in 2022, I think. That was in 2022. I didn't even use my voice. I would stop you know, I would stop the game like for a bit, and then just, you know, write my impressions, my comments and stuff like that on the chat, on the stream chat. Yeah, she can speak. What? And then I think that was the time that people started not people started not watching me anymore because they heard my voice and they're like, oh my god, such a horrid voice, grr. Yeah, which I think it's because some people already have like some sort of expectation when it comes to like the type of voice that I'm gonna have. But when they started hearing what my voice sounds like, it's kind of yeah, that's fine. Woman gaming, yeah, woman. I know that person. I called Whoop. You know, one time, I think wait, let me actually check if the thing that I said on woman's server is still pinned. Wait. Okay, let me check. Yeah, I'm checking midstream. Who cares? Oh, maybe it's gone. Because I did that message last year. Because I'm on woman's server. I was, you know what I was just saying, by the way. You know what I was just saying. Yeah, what I said to woman, it's like what I told woman. I don't remember even the context, but I just told woman, yeah, your boos mean nothing to me. I know what makes you horny. I always tease woman, by the way, for being a puppy girl. Yeah, I think this is Lucio just doing the records. While the contents of the note weren't all that interesting, they helped us get an idea of where each door in that corridor leads to. Yeah. Valencina's shitty scrap papers. She's been keeping up with that useless shit this whole time. Useless shit. Remnants of her desperate search for a thread to cling to. You found one of her backup ticket boards. I've marked any doors that need work with a drone, and there should be about 3 or 4 of them. While you guys do that, I've got some leftover work to take care of over here, so... Wasn't Lucio. Unfortunate. Also, actually on one of the Monster Hunter Wild streams, yeah, woman was there. Woman was there. We were fighting random monsters in Wyveria. And she was using the Mogging Silco fucking profile pic for her Discord reactive. I swear to God. It was such a sudden collab too. It was such a sudden collab too. I was just telling her, hey, you wanna hop on Wilds? I think I did that mid-stream. And then she's like, yeah, sure. And there it was. Yeah. It really is fun. I think that's the only benefit of being in this community for like a long time. I can just call people. There should... Okay. While you guys do that, I've got some leftover work to take care of over here, so... I've been noticing this throughout our interactions, but whenever anything irrelevant to his work came up, Alan seemed to have a way of unhearing and maneuvering right past it as though he didn't even register what was said. What do you mean, like changing corpse? Like not falling wings, but wings that haven't fallen, but in our conditions that... I think they're just waiting for W Corp to fall. It's probably like some sort of bankruptcy thing. Recalling our conversation with Cesara back in P Corp, that deeply uncurious indifference might just be one of the essential personality traits that go on as a corporate employee in the city. Understood. We will explore the areas past the marked doors and return here. Thanks a ton. Well then. With Alan returning to where the other Wayfarer company employees were huddled around, we decided to follow the corridor to the left. Hey, there's someone in there. More of the ring, maybe? Going by their silhouettes, they're unlikely to be members of the ring. Come on! Get out of my way so I can see. It's a detective, some stubbly guy I don't know, and that annoyingly airy dude. Sounds like Moses, Gregor, and Honglu, respectively. The trio's conversation grew clearer the closer I approached them. Oh my god, Gregor! It's okay. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Fine as a fiddle, just a minor fall. This is the 3rd time it's occurred. We ought to discuss this issue with the manager once this consultation is over. I think I'm seeing a bump on the side of Honglu's head. Anyway, you know what to do, right? If at any moment you see signs of... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explanation and the footage both. You're going to be fine again. I believe in you. Look at you now. We're right where it happened, but your arm is stable. See? Ironically, fear tends to grow most unmitigated when it is distant and unseen. I understand what you might be worried about, but I don't see even the slightest, even the earliest portents of it. So don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise while you're in here. I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm still having a hard time in believing it, or I don't know, maybe I'm just avoiding the truth that it's when it's staring at me right in the face. My case is nothing like Don Quixote's. She just needs to keep her shoes on, and it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way for me. Whatever they're talking about sounds hella deep, guys. Yeah, guys, it's so hella deep. You sure about eavesdropping on him like this? That geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him. Man, this guy has like the first-hand experience of like witnessing Emperor Gregor. He's sharing such an IS about himself for once. Why walk away? Don Quixote gave us a nonsensical interpretation of Ryosho's acronym as Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering sinners and Kira, however, Otis stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her face. She is listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor like a woman possessed. Okay, let's keep listening then. Okay, thank you, Apple. You have a good one. Bye-bye. Otis was right. Damn it, she was right all along. The war isn't over. Never was, and it can never be over as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully, it's become easier to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight just fine so far. How? I don't mind fighting hostiles or enemies. I'm not the kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. But killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? Can't even control it. There's nothing I can do even to brace for it. It's unstoppable, like some kind of time bomb counting down to unleash a disease. You never know when its symptoms set off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people began to spiral into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawing a hard straight line. Besides Gregor wasn't wrong in that. At present, there wasn't any way to stop this transformation should it occur again. We've still got a good chunk of that journey left, and eventually we'll have to. No matter what lurks in the past of us sinners, even if they have killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will you still embrace them? We'll eventually have to confront an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that inevitable pressure? I see. You're afraid you'll end up hurting us. Well, that's... At first I thought I couldn't give a hoot whether or not I accidentally murdered some of you. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Honglu. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off the good rocking start. But through our journey, I began to think of you all as my comrades. I was okay with that because I had too much faith in my own weakness. And I realized that I'd grown so weak that I couldn't even take down some backstreets thug with this arm. I was relieved. Imagine that, the same arm, my arm, a weapon that stabbed the heart out of countless people during the smoke war. I'll be honest, when that Hohenheim fella said that I was an exception, the thought alone made me hope. Exception, a potential to be harmless, weaker than even a non-combatant like Yi Sang. It made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know how that went through, don't we? blew up in the worst possible way. After all that, I just couldn't bring myself to fight again. Because I no longer know when this fear would eat me up again. Because I'm constantly afraid of this damned gift manifesting again. The same fear you have carried all this time. How did you endure it before? Badly? Barely? Holding on to the idea that the living's gotta live on and nothing else. This really brings me back years. The memories are so clear that it's like they all happened yesterday. Best you kick me off the bus before push comes to... Can't be the answer, Gregor. You can walk away, but the danger of our journey won't leave with you. Dante and the rest of us will still be facing an endless repeat of peril. It's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur, even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same can't be said for most people in the city. Now that's something I never expected to hear from you. I guess you're right. If we're seeing this through any kind of end, this would be a place to do so. Not many places in the city have some warmth to them like this one does. Boy, this consultation thing's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, because he's not surrendering his witnessing anymore. He's not a surrendered witness anymore. He chose to become more involved with the world, which is actually nice, you know? It's actually great to know that he's just not there. He's not an observer. I mean, it's not like I was forced to go through something as traumatizing as yours, Honglu. Truth be told, I'm not some special case. Everyone that participated in that war must have gone through some more or less the same experience as Moses, Otis, and even Valencina, that piece of work. Can't attach a number to our misfortunes as if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my eyes from it. But you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from the past, you'd come to a pause and spare a look towards the path you had walked. All of those years that I slipped by, all those that slip you by are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, if there's one thing common to everyone, it's that trauma leaves after effects that linger for a long time. What are yours? I dislike loud noises and people who talk too much. They sound too much like the cacophony of the war, like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying, and the wounds they left in my heart bled me dry. But I thought you were fond of Miss Ezra, Miss Moses. I've talked too much. You see, Ezra is an exception. It's because she's my roommate. That aside, haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come out of that corner you're hiding in. Oh man, they knew we've been dropping eaves this whole time? I was actually waiting for just the right time to come out and say a few words, but I couldn't find an appropriate moment to. Well, I would have had to share this with Manager Bud or the rest of you fellas sooner or later, so don't really mind, but... What's she doing here? T.A. Temporary ally? No, temporary accompaniment. Don't be an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You're right on time. I've been working on a theory, but I don't have all the clues to be absolutely certain. A word from someone in the know may immensely improve my confidence in the theory. Kira, do you know which door the Thumpsner's father was most attached to? Huh? No. Duh. Duh? Supposed to be obvious? Didn't you guys all see her? You think I just chat up a scary lady like that? Dude, she was beating the ever-loving shit out of Lucio every time I saw them together. Oh yeah, he went down fighting you guys to the end, huh? Yeah, said stuff about her generosity and all that and fought till he died. Damn, that's unexpected. Being real for a sec here, I thought he was totally gonna swap sides. Really? That lad? And why is that? You know, the vibes. You guys don't know because you haven't seen him long without the scary lady always looming over him. What's up? Gonna stab her right in the spine? You. Look, I think you might be training wrong because, like, you're not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about sword swings from this comic book. It's not how my master has instructed me. The textbook cannot be permitted to even have a single deviation if it means to repay the debt it owes her. Why are you so obsessed with all that crap anyway? You don't even like that old lady. But you're not so different from me in that regard, are you? Bro, the heck you're talking about? I love my papa. Seriously, I thought things were gonna crash and burn before Yoshihide even came home. Huh. Suppose textbook and I had that in common. If this one doesn't know, let me redirect that question towards you, sinner Ryoshu. Hopefully this touches up one of your more intact memories. Do you know which of these doors the Thumbner's father showed a particular attachment to? Or the door she used most often? Why ask me? Fine, yes I do remember. Don't even need clock's help to piece it back together. Hello! Hello J1. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome. It's that one. The door with the metal pieces dangling from it. Yeah, it kinda looks obvious, doesn't it? It looks like a vault door. Hello, welcome. Yeah, it's nice that Lucio is still pretty relevant. Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, a fucking fly? Where did those G-Corp fucks even drag those gross pests from? Mom, are you okay? Do I look okay to you, Ticket? No, not really. I'm fine. You know, I don't break easy. You should have been there to see me tear the head off that G-Corp vermin, Ticket. But Mom, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, they really can't do shit without me, huh? So much for a break. Fuck's this? The bandages for you. Is this kid serious? Got truckloads of expensive treatments on the ready to patch me up this moment I get back from the field. Well, okay. Never mind that. Hey, this works. Mom? Sit tight and don't start any trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques once I'm back. Must have been her years in the smoke war. Yeah, fighting in the war took a lot out of her and left her perpetually exhausted. But she marched to every battle with a smile. Stop drinking, stop beating me too. Oh, right, yeah. She also beat up Ryoshu, right? Amazing. Like a blissful idiot who forgot that she was still neck deep in the inescapable pit called the House of Spiders. Well, the ironic peace didn't last. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consigliere of the Tomb visited the House of Spiders as a tutor. And that's when she went right back to drinking herself into a shit-faced stupor day after day. The beatings returned and so did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on, why though? Sure, I was on the losing side. But wasn't Valencina on the winning side? A war hero at that. Ever heard of the regulation that prevents smoke war participants from moving into I-Corp and K-Corp nests? Yeah, right! Yeah, the thing that fucked up Roland. See, the thing is, yeah. He was trying to get to the I-Corp nest. Yeah. The common thread between these post-war rules is that they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. I see, there must have been things going on behind the scenes there too. Doesn't that mean the back door will drop us into a trench they dug during the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Wait, me? Yes, others can do it too for you. But what would be the point? You sure this won't end up just giving him more nightmares? I don't see how this helps him in any way. Yeah, we don't know yet. We kinda don't know yet what I-Corp does. Sure does, we do not have any means to treat whatever it is that slumbers within his arm. However, I would surmise that the underlying cause of this sudden transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past. It's the other way around. Isn't that so? Ibuprofen Corp. If you can come to understand that the war is really over and that what others say, no matter how closely they echo the past, is not necessarily aimed at you, then you may be able to loosen your grip on the fear and anxiety that your arm could metamorphose at any moment. While her suggestion may seem blunt, it is one of the most basic treatment principles of M-Corp's psychotherapy centers. Fine, then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grabbed its handle, then paused, taking slow, deep breaths. And with one arm, he gently opened the door. Why are you running? You should be taking the lead of the front lines with our G-Corp banner held high. I don't want to die. It's nice to have a place to go back to. Oh, right. Happy 15th birthday. You can't possibly have the chick to call me cruel. You G-Corp pests were far more messed up than I ever was, ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You were nothing but a swarm of fucked up monsters. I thought I'd woken up from that dream, but I was still. Yuri's Return, Part 3. I don't know though. Would you guys mind if I actually just cut it off for now and then we'll just continue it tomorrow? Because it's like past 3. Yeah. Part 2 tomorrow, yeah. So that, at least, I usually go for like one sitting for this one, but like I'm getting old. I'm getting old and I think it's starting to weigh down on me, Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't really get Rod, yeah. Yeah. I gotta get some rest. Yeah, I got a normal sleep schedule apparently. But yeah, I'll try to get some more rest and stuff like that. And hopefully by tomorrow we're gonna continue it and we're gonna have like a good time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. But for now, for me, bye Simi. Bye bye.